history-making game in 2009, Northwest Missouri State beat Grand Valley State for the national championship. In 2013, new stars like running back Chris Robinson of the Lakers and Trevor Adams of the Bearcats try to take their team to this year's version of the national championship. The NCAA championship presented by Northwestern Mutual. They're back. Grand Valley State and Northwest Missouri State meeting once again for the right to play Lenore-Rhine, which beat Westchester earlier today 42-14 for the Division II football championship. Greetings, good afternoon. Jim Barber and Rocky Boyman won a Super Bowl ring with the Colts back in 2006. If you're on the scene for what's the latest in college football, which is highfalutin offenses, a lot of football played between the trenches, a lot of passes thrown, this ain't the place to be today because, my friend, it's smash-mouth football for the most part, and you like that, don't you?
Absolutely, yeah. If you tuned in today to watch a couple of gimmicky spread offenses that chuck the ball around 65 times apiece, you've tuned into the wrong game. Both these teams really established the run. They got a couple of capable backs, power backs, speed backs. And look, Jim, how many times have we seen it this time of year in the playoffs in December, teams that can establish the run have give their team a better chance to win? We're going to see some smash mouth today.
Saw that last night in the FCS championship, one of the semifinal games. Towson knocking off its opponent, Eastern Illinois. Heath Parling is a star for Grand Valley State today. He throws the ball with great regularity. He's healthy. He's ready to go.
Yeah, high football IQ guy. They give him a bevy of plays to go to the line of scrimmage with, and he has the ability to get out of those plays according to what the defense does.
And on the other end, he faces the Dixon gang, two great cornerbacks who are brothers and play with a lot of enthusiasm out of Pompano Beach, Florida.
Yeah, and 28 of 32 NFL teams have been in to see these two guys. We're going to see a ton of man-to-man. And basically, they tell these two guys, look, go cover their best wide receivers, and we'll talk to you after the game. They let that front get after the offense.
A lot of fun to watch, too, because they have a lot of charisma. It's cold out there. We'll tell you how cold we come back as we get ready for kick of this national semifinal game. Welcome to Jimmy V Week for Cancer Research on ESPN as we continue our commitment to the V Foundation and Jim Valvano's dream to defeat cancer. We were down on the field today. We avoided the snow, but it's cold down there, and in fact, with that northwest wind at 14 miles an hour, it's a whole lot colder.
It definitely is out there, Jim. We walked out on the field, and you feel it right on your face as soon as you get out in that weather. And definitely going to be a factor again, not so much with the snow and rain or things like that, but the cold could play into this game.
We saw that last night in that matchup against Eastern Illinois and Towson, a game in which Terrence West had 5 touchdowns. They played in the snow over in Charleston, Illinois. 6 meetings since 2005. Northwest Missouri State has the advantage, 3-2. The last 4 meetings have been in the NCAA playoffs, including three championship games.
Yeah, really in the last 10 years in Division II football, it's been both of these teams. And that's what's so cool about today's game. Not the finals, but the semifinals. And one of these two teams, whoever wins this game, you got to like their chances to win another championship.
Bryce Enyard, who has already returned to kick 4 touchdowns for Northwest Missouri State, is back to receive. Grand Valley State won the toss, and as Matt Mitchell told us prior to the game, if I win the toss, I'm a defensive guy. I defer, and I want to go on defense immediately.
Yeah, and he likes to take the win, and he also likes getting the ball coming out in the third quarter. He just loves how that works with the tempo of his team, and that's what they're going to do here today.
Marco Adarosa to accept the kickoff. He's number 53, and he'll send it in the direction of Enyard. Except it goes out of bounds before it hits the end zone. That's a penalty, and that's good field position for Northwest Missouri State to start.
Yeah, that's not a way to start a game, obviously. The ball is Northwest is going to get the ball on the 35-yard line.
Phil Kelly is our referee. By the way, this group is out of the Gulf Coast and the Sun Belt. We were talking to one of the officials today. He says, you know, we're here because it's comic relief.
Yeah, and the joke's on them. I'll tell you what, coming from Florida, it's a few degrees colder up here, but they're all bundled up. They'll be ready to go.
Trevor Adams, the starting quarterback for Northwest Missouri State. Billy Creason in the backfield, and we are with the first play of scrimmage right now. It's Creason trying to find a crease. He gets a couple on first down. Trevor Adams, who has missed a number of games this year due to injury, is back. He is healthy now. And this guy at 74% completions is the heart and the soul of the offense.
He really is. He leads all of Division II in completion percentage, 74%. That guy is very, very accurate out there.
This is 2nd and 8, out to the flat, incomplete. You got to be careful. That could be a loose ball right now, picked up and recovered by Grand Valley State. Because it turned a lateral, it's going to be a great possession for Grand Valley State inside the 20. And how about that, as Matt Mosley returns it for the Lakers.
You're going to look at the replay here. That's a lateral, Jim.
Yes, sir.
That ball went backwards. And great job by Grand Valley with the presence of mind to know that that was the case. Picked up the ball, and now going to get great field position.
They'll have the football at the 17 of Northwest Missouri State. So big turnover, and the return by number 4, Mosley. He's considered to be one of their top defensive players on the team. 1st and 10 for quarterback Heath Parley. Now they get set in the I formation. The give is to Robinson. And Robinson still going with the football down to the 13 and a pickup of 5. Parling this year with 26 touchdown passes, 8 interceptions, and he's been through a slew of injuries in the last couple of years, Rocky.
Yeah, and here in his junior year, though, he's having his best season as a college quarterback. Really conducts this offense. Like I said, they've really bucked the trend. You see so many teams now, they want to go tempo, fast, 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 but you can see right now just 2 plays into the game. They really work to get in the right formation. They'll use some shifts and motion to try to get an advantageous position on the defense. And Parling's a guy that can get him in the right spot.
He'll throw on 2nd down, the blitz off the edge. Didn't recognize it. And a big-time sack for the Bearcats by Matt Longacre, number 96.
It's a great inside swat and swim move right there. Excellent job. And Parling did not see him coming. Came from the blind side. Tremendous play right there by Longacre.
And that brings the Bearcat crowd into the game, as Longacre, who came in with 8.5 sacks, just added 1 to the total.
We talk about the Dixon brothers, how good they are in man-to-man coverage, but Jim, this defensive front, we watched them all week. They can get after the quarterback, and they're also very good at stopping the run.
Loss of 7 on the play, 3rd and 13, headed to the end zone, incomplete, and back defending number 1, Brandon Dixon, to prevent the touchdown from Heath Parling.
And Brandon Dixon wishes he had that one back. He was in perfect position right there to intercept that football in the end zone, but either way, great man-to-man coverage. Like I said, we'll see that all game from these guys. They lock those wide receivers up. They'll be going after Pitts and Potts and Brandon Green for Grand Valley State. Good job on that play right there.
Lucas Kozu to snap, Jeff O'Brien to hold, and Joel Schipper, who's missed 1 field goal attempt, will try one from 37. So the turnover by the Bearcats. On the attempted lateral that was recovered for fumble, leads to a field goal by Shepard. 3-0 Grand Valley State. We've had all around in the area, 3-0 Grand Valley State. Just moments in this game by way of a Bearcat turnover. Now when Grand Valley State plays in bad weather, they got everybody right where they want them.
They've had a little bit of everything this year. Look at Northern Michigan, rain, sleet, lightning. They had a game versus Wayne State that was actually canceled because of hail. So we talked to Coach Mitchell before the game. He said, look, our team really embraces that, and you got to love it again. In December, you know the weather's going to be bad, Jim, and if your team can play well and adapt to those surroundings, they have a great chance of winning.
-3-yard drive and the 37-yard field goal by Shipper. Have the Lakers in a 3-0 lead, and Enyard will return 3 yards deep, and he slips at the 15. Bryce Enyard has already taken one to the house this year, but not this time as the field turf gets a hold of him. North Missouri State and their high-powered offense is led by Trevor Adams. Billy Creason in the backfield, and Phil Jackson will get some touches today as well. And he'll be squaring up against one of the best linebacker units around. Jordan Kaufman has 106 tackles. Deontay Hurst has 104. And then there's Reggie Williams in the secondary.
Yeah, Reggie Williams is a lockdown corner for Grand Valley State. He had kind of a tough week last week. He was in great position on some of the players he was covering, but they happened to sneak some balls in on him. So I know he's ready to come out and have more of an impact here in today's game.
This drive will start way back at the 11 for the Bearcats. On first down, Creason carries to the 14, might have got a little further up to the 15-yard line, and he is down for the moment. Billy Creason, their outstanding running back, may have got hit in the knee. Hails out of Grand Valley, Missouri.
Yeah, it looked like I don't know if he got so much hit on or twisted up. We'll see what his prognosis is. But again, he's their bell cow guy in the backfield there. He's also so good out of the backfield, catches a lot of screen passes, and we were watching tape this week. Again, 3 touchdowns last week, and the other back, Phil Jackson, had 4. So if they lose him early in this game, that could be very detrimental.
Played his high school ball at Grand Valley High School. Hails from that city in Missouri. He's a senior. Played in the 2009, was a part of the 2009 championship game.
Yeah, he's one of the few players that are still left from that 2009 team. Looks to be going off the field on his own power and looks to be okay.
All right, we walked the turf earlier, you and I. What did you feel that it presents? What type of problem?
Well, there's definitely some moisture in the air, which means there's some moisture on the field. A little bit slick out there. Obviously no snow, but we saw on the kickoff return, we saw Enyard slip, so it could be an issue here today.
Let's go, Cavs!
As play resumes, just 2.5 minutes in, 2nd and 7 for the Bearcats. Already in a 3-0 hole. Back to the running game, and not much there. And if Northwest Missouri State can't run the football today, that is going to be a problem.
Yeah, that was Robert Burton right there. So Creason's their main back, and then Robert Burton and Phil Jackson are their go-to, their secondary back. And Coach Doyle told us before the game, look, he's going to see who's hot early. Is it going to be Burton or is it going to be Jackson? Whoever seems to kind of have the edge here today, they'll go with him the rest of the game.
Joel Gans, tight end, is in the game right now, along with wide receiver Bryce Young on 3rd down. They send Young in motion and back the other way. Need to get the ball to the 22. Adams with a strike. Got it. Ball dropped, incomplete. So in the first 2 series, Rocky, we've seen a fumble on a lateral and then a drop pass for a first down.
Yeah, offense really looks out of sync right here. Just try to get a little stop right there just ahead of the sticks. And again, Trevor Adams, who's we talked about earlier, 74% completion quarterback. A little errant on that throw right there.
Kyle Goodburn will punt, and Reggie Williams, who has a terrific average on kicks and punts, back to return. Line drive kick, he'll let it go. Good bounce for Northwest Missouri State, nearly 20 yards, and they'll blow it dead at the 40-yard line. 11:27 opening quarter, 3-0. Lakers, they're back on offense when we come back. Lesson, Grand Valley State is located in Allendale, Michigan, just outside Grand Rapids and about an hour away from Detroit, Michigan. About 12 inches of lake effect snow hit the campus early this week, so the football team went indoors and inside its wonderful indoor practice facility. They've made 16 playoff appearances and 4 national championships between 02 and 06. The enrollment just a shade under 24,500. Ryan Kelly, the Notre Dame coach, giving back to his roots, donated money toward that indoor facility.
Yeah, talk about a luxury in Division II football. The Cincinnati Bengals, where I'm from, don't have their own indoor facility, but Grand Valley State appears to have a nice one.
I want to talk to Brian Kelly about that then. Here's Parling on first down. Kirk Spencer, the ball carrier, who missed almost all of 5 games this year with injuries. He does average almost 7 yards a carry at 6.6. Good-looking running back.
Yeah, and Grand Valley State has a little bit of a thunder and lightning package in their backfield. Chris Robinson, who we saw there, he's their bigger, power, physical back at 6'1", 220. And then right there, Kirk Spencer, a little bit smaller. He's more their flash guy, a little bit more speed, but he can also run it between the tackles as well.
And he got 6 on first down. The fake to Spencer. Parling the throw. He's got a man wide open, 33-yard line. A strike to Joe Worth. First down, Grand Valley State on the move once again.
And for the first time I've seen in a while, Northwest Missouri was playing zone defense, but right there, no one dropped in the zone to cover Joe Worth. And a nice job by Parling, recognize that 2 high safeties, the opening in the middle of the field. Nice ball to Worth and picks up a great first down.
Well, in offense, particularly in cold weather, finding your tight end on occasion, I think would be important.
Absolutely. And Joe Worth, 6'4", 257 pounds, a great big-bodied guy to get the ball to.
Now the ball to the 26-yard line. Go a little end around. This one for a pickup of 4. Brandon Green, the ball carrier, is the team's top receiver, but he can also run the football. That is his 21st carry of the year.
Nice job here by some cornerback play, fighting, getting some blocks off. You see right there by the linebacker, Cody Matheson.
So pick up a 5 on first down. We're already seeing how effective they are on first down, Rocky. Out of the backfield. Pass complete. First down. Down to the 16-yard line. Chris Robinson on the catch.
Let's try a little swing pass right there to Robinson. See a lot of things this offense does, doing well, establishing the run, some vertical passing game, and also some swing routes to the back. So that's one thing about this offense. They are a vertically based offense. Again, we talk about they want to run the ball, but they'll also take some shots. They want to stretch this field out. So expect to see some big plays from the wide receiving corps as well.
On first down, little pitch to Spencer, and Spencer back to the original line of scrimmage. This is a team without their top running back, Michael Rattay, who got injured about a month ago, and Rattay had carried for over 1,000 yards and had scored 16 touchdowns.
Yeah, he was the leading rusher they've had in a while here at Grand Valley State. Went down in early November. But we talked to the coaches this week. They said, look, our most talented position group is this running back corps. We talked about Chris Robinson, Kirk Spencer. We'll also see Terrell Dorsey. A lot of capable backs in that backfield.
They face now a 2nd and 11. And around again this time to the right side. Not much there as well. Brandon Green has run to his left and now to the right. And that sets up a 3rd and predictable for Grand Valley State.
Another thing about Grand Valley State's offense, they're a very explosive offense. They've had 115 plays of 20-plus yards, and that man right there, Brandon Green, has had 20 of those 20-plus yard gains. He's an explosive guy, downfield, lots of speed, and we've also seen like that in the reverse game.
Let's see how the Bearcats defend it. Typically man coverage. Empty backfield for Parling. And coming across for Grand Valley State, Eric Reimer, number 51. Northwest Missouri State, the linebacker.
Defense, number 57. 5-yard penalty. Dilford. Third down.
That was a great job by Parling right there. He knew that the blitz was coming, and a good use of hard count to get those linebackers to jump.
Well, they said 57. It was 51 Reimer. Play clock is under 20. Still time to get the play in. That's where you have a relaxed quarterback like Parling saying, hey, we got time, we're all right. Football at the 11 on 3rd and 6. Halfway through a fast-moving first quarter.
See Darrell Pitts, the top of your screen, big-bodied wide receiver.
Parling out of the backfield, incomplete. Intended for Chris Robinson, and so that'll bring on Joel Shipper, who had a 37-yard field goal moments ago.
we talked about earlier, this Northwest Missouri defense, they've bended a little bit, but they've really gotten together here in the red zone, forcing 2 field goals.
So look at that wind, 14 miles an hour out of the northwest. And this field goal attempt will be from 28 yards out. Shipper has missed just 1 this year, 13 tries. Good snap, ball down, kick on the way. 2 field goals by Joel Shipper the first 7.5 minutes in the opening quarter, and that's the difference in this national semifinal. Lakers 6, Bearcats nothing. Back to business in a moment. Semifinal game for Division II. It's Matt Mitchell, 4th season as the head coach. Splendid record of 39-10.
And we talked to Mitchell this week about the last 2 weeks. They've not done a good job of starting fast. 2 weeks ago versus Colorado State Pueblo, they went down 16-0 before coming back. And then last week, we're down 28-14 at half before coming back. So obviously he's a lot more excited that they're up 6-0 here in this game so far.
And Yard to bring it back from around his own end zone and rope tied at about the 20-yard line. Grand Valley State, since 2001, is 62-12 on the road. This is a team built for cold weather and a team that wins in cold weather.
Well, they got the perfect chance to do it today. Again, there's 10 degrees with the wind chill. And you see right there, every offensive skill player has one of those flip cars on the wristband right there. That's how the plays come in. They're a no-huddle team. They want to get a little tempo. And I imagine they're going to keep trying to spread this Grand Valley defense out.
General feeling is that Northwest Missouri State will face a team that's big in the box, defending with 8 or maybe 9 defenders, so therefore they're going to try to shake things up today with a little play action pass. More play action than typically they usually have.
How about that? Some good company right there for Grand Valley State. You know, up there with Michigan and some school from South Bend named Notre Dame that I used to attend. Still like to see them in the big stats.
You did okay there. Wait for Bob Davey. Play action by Adams, right on cue. First down. Out to Corey Jackson on the reception, and we were told by the coaches yesterday, including Charlie Floor, that they are going to try to get a little bit more of the action to Jackson if possible.
Well, their best wide receiver, Clint Utter, he's not playing today. He went down last week, got a head injury, possibly a concussion when his head hit the ground in that game. So it's going to be Corey Jackson and Ruben Thomas, both JUCO transfers, that are going to be the main targets today.
And it's a first down from the 39. Each team going with end around so far today, and this one stretches out, and there's not much there for Ruben Thomas, who probably got a yard or 2 depending on the spot. Thomas is 6'2", 185 from Pasadena, California. Played his college ball, some of it at Pasadena City Junior College.
It was a great job of pursuit by Grand Valley State right there. We talked to Adam Durrell, Northwest Missouri's coach, yesterday. He said this is the most team defensive speed we've seen all year, and we're going to see those Grand Valley State Lakers flying around on defense. We've seen it so far.
We're seeing a second quarterback now for the Bearcats, Brady Bowles. More of a running quarterback. That's what he does on first down. He's good at it. He picks up a first down and a gain of 11 into Grand Valley State territory for the first time today, and this is what this kid does better than most quarterbacks in this division.
He does. He creates a spark for him. We talked to the coach yesterday, said, look, Trevor Adams is our #1 guy, but Brady Bowles comes in. You can see his numbers right there is also a big part of this offense, kind of a change-up. But look, if they'll go with the guy who's hot. If Bowles all of a sudden gets hot, they'll keep with him. They'll keep him in the game.
And brother Blake was part of that national championship victory in 2009. Play action on first down. Ruben Thomas to the 33-yard line, a gain of 16, another first down for the Bearcats.
Now we're really starting to get a sense of that tempo of that offense. Good play action fake right there. Trevor Adams, a nice job by Ruben Thomas putting his foot in the ground and reversing field. This offense is now just starting to hit the stride.
Thomas has averaged almost 15 yards a carry. So we'll see 2 quarterbacks today, and Bowles, the running quarterback, and Trevor Adams, the thrower. And now Bowles operating the offense right now, who gives his team a spark. On first down, man, wide open, 20-yard line. And a first down inside the 20. Well, Bowles can throw the ball as well, and he got good protection in order to deliver a strike.
You got great protection, but also with the fact that Bowles is mostly a running quarterback, sometimes you don't think he's going to throw, but did a nice job. Again, good play action fake, thrown to the run off to his right, hitting the wide open wide receiver. Textbook stuff.
Bryce Young with a catch, the junior out of Missouri, Chillicothe, Missouri. First down right now from the 14. And a pickup of maybe a yard on the play. Again, 8 in the box for Grand Valley State. They play a very aggressive defense. And the Bearcats are well aware of it as they prepare this week.
Yeah, they really like to press that line of scrimmage. That's why I think we'll continue to see Northwest Missouri try to spread these guys out, get those linebackers, Luther Ware, Jordan Kaufman, Deontay Hurst, get them out in space a little bit. They do not want to play this Grand Valley State team in a phone booth.
8th play of the drive that's already netted 66 yards in a little more than 2.5 minutes. Adams the throw, in trouble, throws, ball caught. Got it to his tight end down to the 6-yard line. 85, Alex Visk from Overland Park, Kansas with a catch.
It's a great job of Adams recognizing man-to-man coverage. So what do you do to beat man-to-man? You go with a little crossing route, and he was able right there, you see at the bottom of your screen, to hit Alex Visk. Good big body, 6'3", 230-pound tight end. And the tight ends lately, Jim, in the past 5-6 years of football have really just been the vogue position. Those big-bodied guys, safeties can't cover them. They're too small. Linebackers aren't fast enough to cover them. We've seen a couple good ones here today so far.
And off that gain, it is 3rd and short. Bowles will run the football to the end zone. Touchdown!
Great job. They just exactly what I talked about, spread them out. And look at that surge by the left side of the line right there. Shane Smith, Cody Carlson just collapsed that left side right there. Jordan Kaufman, you see, goes down by the wayside. This offensive line, Jim, was one of the big question marks coming into this season. They lost their former top guy, Rod Williams, who was their left tackle, but took some work with some guys. Shane Smith, Cody Carlson really stepped up.
Simon Matisse with the extra point puts the Bearcats ahead for the first time. 7-6 with 3:19 to go in the first quarter, and Brady Bowles, his 11th rushing touchdown of the season.
He's, like we talked about, he's been the spark. A couple nice runs. We saw him with the pass completion for about 15 yards on the drive as well. Now Northwest Missouri looked like they were sleepwalking a little bit in the first part of that game, are now back in the groove.
Adam Doyle's the head coach, his 3rd year, and his record has been splendid as well, 34-6, so winning percentage of 85%. We saw him earlier today. We said, how about this weather? He said, perfect. This is what I love. 9th straight postseason appearance, 3rd straight as a head coach. He has Trevor Adams, who leads the NCAA in Division II in pass completion percentage. They're 3rd in the country in points average per game, and they are tough to beat at home.
Yeah, they are. They put 59 points on St. Cloud State last week. And as much as this offense we talked about, they're kind of a power running team at times. They can put some points on the board. And how about Coach Adam Durrell? He's an alumni of Northwest Missouri, gets to come back here, was the coordinator for a while, now the head coach. And you could just tell talking with him yesterday, he loves being at this program.
His team ahead by a point, 7-6. Eric Thompson from inside the 15. Makes one man miss, cuts back and returns it up to the 28-yard line. 2 field goals so far today for the Lakers and a touchdown extra point for the Bearcats. Lenoir-Rhyne defeated Westchester earlier today in the other semifinal, so we go to Florence, Alabama for the championship game next week on ESPN2. Final year for the D2 finals in Florence. They'll move to Kansas City after that.
Sure, Northwest Missouri likes that, being that Kansas City is just down the road. Northwest Missouri's been very lucky here in the playoffs, hitting so many home games. We talked to the coaches yesterday about that, how much of a luxury that is and not have to go on the road and travel so much.
Real luxury around Thanksgiving, too, when these guys with young families get the chance to stay home and not have to go anywhere. That pass batted up in the air and picked up. There is a penalty on the play, however. Travis Manning with a sensational catch and interception, but there is a penalty marker. And did he push off? Here's Philip Kelly to settle matters and let us know, as this group again is from the Sun Belt and Gulf South conferences.
It was actually the safety Enyard that tipped that ball and batted it up in the air to Manning.
Interference on the defense. Or pass interference on the defense. Number 29, 15 yards to the previous spot. Carries automatic first down.
It is on Enyard, who tipped and also pushed off. So as a result, wave off the interception and add 15 yards to the catch, or 15 yards of the play.
On that replay right there, I saw nothing of the sort right there. Enyard was not even close to touching the wide receiver, unless it happened earlier down the field. That's a bad call and a big momentum change right there after it looked like Northwest Missouri was going to get a game-changing turnover. You can see Enyard right there throwing his hands up in the air. He didn't like the call either.
We'll move the football up to the 43-yard line. So Heath Parling lives for another day. Three minutes remaining, opening quarter. This National Division II semifinal game from Maryville, Missouri. Robinson straight ahead for a couple, maybe 3 yards. And let's go back to that last play and see if, in fact, there was no pass interference.
Yeah, we see Enyard right there going over to the deep third of the field.
No, Enyard didn't tip any or tap anybody, but I thought Travis Manning might have got a hand out there, whether it was enough or...
Could have been Manning, but Enyard definitely did not touch the wide receiver.
So he is denied his fifth interception. It is 2nd and 7. Heath Parling out of Plymouth, Michigan will run for it. Headed toward the sticks and should have the first down with a head-first dive out of bounds into Northwest Missouri State territory.
You talked about Heath Parling a little bit earlier, Jim. This guy had an ACL injury last year, got surgery on, then in January had a little bit of a re-injury to that left knee out there. Came back, started the first 3 games, and went out, had a shoulder injury, sat 3, came back. So really tough kid right there, and you love him on the scramble right there, not going out of bounds, trying to get forward and put his shoulder down and pick up a few more.
Yep, ACL tear, shoulder problem, sprained AC joint. What are we missing here? You know, he's at everything. On first down, Robinson trying to break free, and he picks up 7. Chris Robinson all trying to pick up the slack for the injured Michael Rattay, and so far so good as 99. Brandon Yost comes up to make the tackle for the nose spot.
This offensive line for Grand Valley State, look, they're not the biggest line in the world, but I'm loving their surge right now. I'm loving their push up front versus some big body guys for Northwestern Missouri.
Bearcats don't put a lot of guys up in the line of scrimmage or the box where we see some of those linebackers start to sneak up a little bit.
Yeah, they like to play man-to-man, and then, you know, it gives them some flexibility. Those linebackers can come or they can stay back.
Trying to run wide, loss on the play for running back Kirk Spencer. Matt Longacre, number 96, from his defensive end spot, the junior from Omaha, Nebraska.
You see him right there again. Look at fighting off a double team block and getting in the backfield. That's big time stuff. That's the second big play that Longacre's had in this game. Good sized kid, 6'3", 240-pound junior from Omaha.
That gets his crowd standing. Of course, it's so cold, nobody wants to sit today, so that should be a normal position for the next 3.5 hours. Under a minute to go, first quarter.
This is critical. Remember, Northwest Missouri's defense is getting off the field 75% of the time on third down.
And before that happens, penalty flag on the play.
The offense, number 57, 5-yard punted. Maine's third.
On the right tackle, Brandon Rievenberg. Coach Mitchell talked about this week again with Northwest Missouri's defense doing such a good job in the playoffs here of getting off the field on third down. They got to be able to sustain drives, and obviously makes it a lot harder when on third down you get an offsides penalty, moving it back even further, now facing 3rd and 10.
Play clock at 5, and they are going to use a timeout to avoid another 5-yard loss. So with perhaps one play remaining in the first quarter, Parling will huddle on the side of Grand Valley State, decked out in the black, white, and blue uniforms, and they'll set up a 3rd and 10 after this short break. Grand Valley State has had a most interesting year, having won the last 8 and averaging at 36 points a game. The offense itself averages 7 yards a play, 16.5 yards per pass completion in the conference, 7-2, and overall 12-2.
I'll tell you what, that game last week versus West Texas A&M really was the tale of two halves. Grand Valley State came out in that game, and A&M went up big, had 310 yards of offense, and were 9 of 11 on 3rd down in the first half. And then Coach Mitchell must have gave some kind of halftime speech, Jim, because they came back out in the second half and held West Texas A&M to just 124 yards. And West Texas, they have the quarterback Dustin Vaughn, who has 5,000 yards and 49 touchdowns on the season. So they had a great game plan coming out of the second half, made some great adjustments to get them here to this game today.
This is a good come-from-behind team. 3rd and 10 from the 46 of the Bearcats. Empty backfield, incomplete. That was intended for Brandon Green, and the drop now brings us the 4th down and likely a punt.
And Brandon Green, usually a very sure-handed wide receiver. Nice job stretching the defensive back vertically. Ball was a little bit behind. Definitely should have come up with that football right there. Would have been a 1st down.
And Travis Manning back defending, so Heath Parling, starting quarterback for Grand Valley State, off the field. Bryce Young is the lone return man at the 10. That kick nearly blocked. Fair catch just past the 10-yard line. There was a penalty flag on the play.
There's a late flag, Jim. They're going to get Northwest Missouri for running into the kicker.
Well, what do you think? A legitimate call?
I don't like that call. Looked like it happened a little late to me, but I think they're going to get Zach Maloney. We'll see what the call, if it's running into the kicker or if it's unsportsmanlike. And the flag came so late. That's what was a little questionable to me.
Chris Picano was doing the punting there. It's just a
1st and 10.
It's just a 5-yard penalty, and as a result of the good field position for Grand Valley State on defense, they will decline the penalty and will set up for this man who enjoys defense, Matt Mitchell. So the Bearcats officially with the ball at their own 12-yard line with the lead of 7-6 on a touchdown run by quarterback Brady Bowles.
This defense for Grand Valley have also done such a great job of turning over the football. They have 27 interceptions on the season and have only given up 17 touchdown passes. Their back end's getting it done. It's an interesting formation we see right there, the triple stack.
Don't see very often, but the Bearcats are going to show the Lakers a lot of different formations today. And that'll do it for our first quarter. Lakers struck first with 2 field goals inside the 40. The Bearcats back with a touchdown from quarterback Bowles, 7-6. The winner goes on to face Lenore Ryan in the championship game in Division II next week in Florence, Alabama.
Had the 1 rushing touchdown. We'll see on the drive right here. Kind of got some things going again. This is their 3rd drive of the game. Got into a rhythm again. They're an up-tempo team. And there we see Bowles doing something he doesn't do a lot of, and that's complete passes. But then nice job reading the man-to-man coverage, getting to his big tight end, and then some great offensive line blocking, punches in for the touchdown.
Back to, as they say in TV, live action as we start the second quarter. The forest green uniforms belong to Northwest Missouri State. Forest green and white. And it's black, white, and blue for Grand Valley State. And that's your backup quarterback, Mr. Bowles.
Well, he's got the hot hand right now, Jim. We talked about it. This Coach Adam Drell said, look, we're not just married to Trevor Adams. If all of a sudden if the flow of this game is more conducive to Bowles being in the game, we'll keep him in there.
Both quarterbacks are terrific at completions, a combination of almost 70%. 3rd and 2. Shotgun formation and trouble. Bowles had to get rid of it. Got great pressure from the defensive end, Matt Mosley, and it's 3 and out for the Bearcats to start the second quarter.
Yep. The linebacker came, that was Charles Hill, came right up the middle unblocked. Coffin was lucky to get outside the box because that ball did not go past the line of scrimmage. That was a close one.
Great field position coming up for the Lakers. Kyle Goodburn back to punt. Good snap, low line drive kick. Reggie Williams will let it bounce, and it covers some distance. They'll spot it at 21. That's a kick of 51 yards. So even if you can't get much hang time today due to the weather, you can get a pretty good bounce on this turf. Back in 2002, the Lakers beat Valdosta to win the national championship 31-24. They liked it so much they came back the next year, did it again.
It's been these two teams that have been in the conversation for the national championship again over the last decade. It's been going back and forth. And we're seeing 2006, Grand Valley State got back with another championship behind the two-time championship winning quarterback Colin Finnery. He was a great player.
Lakers back on offense. Robinson breaks a couple of tackles and gets 9 on first down. Chris Robinson has already made his presence known nicely in this game, and he's a strong runner. It's not easy to bring down in his first contact. 4 carries, 24 yards.
Yeah, well, he's a guy that if there's no hole there, he can make his own hole. Again, at 220 pounds, just the kind of perfect back you want in a cold weather December game. Guy that can just pound away at you.
Good point. He's had 4 games this year of 100 yards or better rushing. 2nd and 1, a little bubble screen for the first down up to the 45-yard line. So each team being able to pull out some pretty good plays so far. Jamie Potts is their number 2 receiver. That's his 48th catch of the season.
Yeah, we're really seeing diverse offenses by both of these teams right now.
You know what's interesting? A lot of bad weather in the NFL this past weekend. Record number of touchdowns scored. Last night in the quarterfinal game up in Eastern Illinois, lots of points there. I mean, weather doesn't seem to affect these offenses.
Well, I know from experience, Jim, a lot of times people don't talk about it, but for a defensive player who doesn't know where he's going, it's hard to get your footing when it's slick out there. You see a lot of bad tackling in cold weather games. We saw that last week in the NFL for sure.
Now, you spent a few games with the Kansas City Chiefs, and you played with the Colts. Of course, they played mostly indoors at the Dome, when the Dome was in existence, and you played at Notre Dame. Do you like cold weather?
Cold weather didn't bother me. I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio, so it was one of those things you kind of put out of your mind. But tell you, when it gets around 10 degrees like it is here today, I don't care what anybody says, you definitely notice it.
Couldn't figure who made the beeline to the press box quicker, you or me, after being down on the field. 2nd and 4. Harling in trouble. Longacre got him. Matt Longacre, second sack of the game and a loss back to the 40.
Matt Longacre is putting on a clinic right now. They're moving him around. This time we see him on the right side with a nice twist stunt right there between number 42, Brian Hummel, and himself. It's a nice job coming up the middle. I'll tell you what, this Grand Valley State offense better find a way to block that man right there, Matt Longacre, because he is having a heck of a day.
2013 Region 3 Defensive Player of the Year and the MIAA Defensive Player of the Year as well. 3rd and 13. Neither team very effective on 3rd down so far. Harling this time with time, now flushed out. Breaks a couple of tackles and finally brought down to 41 by DJ Nader, the middle linebacker, and so Grand Valley State must give up the ball.
You see Parling very frustrated right there. This defensive line, Jim, will flat get after you. Again, Matt Longacre, Brandon Yost, Kevin Arnold. Also going to get Colin Bevins back in this game.
52 Chris Bacano back to punt. Just inside his 30-yard line. High snap, he's in trouble, and somehow got it away. It's not going to go very far. Could have been a disaster, though, and it's blown dead at the 39-yard line. Let's take a break. 4 minutes into the second quarter. The winner gets Lenore Ryan in Florence, Alabama next weekend. Dick is in his 37th season as Grand Valley State radio announcer, and he misses this trip because his fibrillator went off as he was getting aboard the plane. Dick, by the way, celebrating his 56th wedding anniversary today with Lori Nelson. Congratulations on that. Dick is okay, by the way. Terry Seglow is the wife of athletic director Tim Seglow. She's a nurse. She attended to him right after the fibrillator went off. He was okay, and he's back resting. And Dick, we hope to see you in Florence, Alabama next week if Grand Valley State makes it that far. Back to action from the 38. Bearcats leading 7-6 with the ball. Play action for Adams and a strike to the 45-yard line. Darrell Pitts with the catch. Check that, number 7 for the Bearcats. Jason Josetis, and with the first down and 3 receivers available, big strike on first down.
It was a nice job. They stacked the wide receivers right there, and then Josetis, nice job recognizing the middle of the field was open. And right there, breaking a couple tackles, getting a few extra yards after the catch.
To the 34-yard line. Just 1 touchdown in this national semifinal game so far. Robert Burton, the ball carrier. Maybe a yard, possibly 2 on the play.
You see the tackle right there by big number 11, Frank Bohenzi. First time he's played in about 4 weeks. He had an MCL injury. He's a former Northern Illinois Husky. They're obviously happy to have him back and be a part of that big defensive front for Grand Valley.
Yeah, he stands 6'2", 295.
A big boy out there.
Oh, yeah. That line is 245, 295, 276, and 245. Brian Bowles, the quarterback now, running the football on second down. He doesn't gain anything there. Now, we watched that play a lot in film session, and yesterday you got mad at it. You don't like this play. Now, why is that?
It's not my favorite play in the world. And a lot of times, though, it is effective because they just spread the offense out. It's just a design quarterback draw. And that time, they actually happened to get a lead block by Billy Creason. But a lot of times, you'll see it's one of those just – it reminds me of a grade school play. Just hike the ball to the quarterback and run to a side. But, look, it's hard to argue with results, Jim.
Oh, you old linebackers.
we complain about everything offensively.
He was giving the offense grief. Penalty flag on the play. Adams running for the first down. Still with the football in the red zone and out of bounds at the 10-yard line. Now we'll see if the play stands.
Yeah, unfortunately, this is going to come back from a hold, I do believe.
So Adams doesn't scramble very often. Had a lot of room to run there, but let's see what the penalty.
Defense. Penalty at the first down.
It's a first down to the 10 for Adams.
That's a big break for that offense. I thought I saw Frank Wenzel get hold there at the nose tackle position. But again, like you said, Jim, nice job scrambler by Trevor Adams, who, again, is not known as a scrambler. Bowles is more the running quarterback. Looks like we're going to see him come into the game right here.
He has the lone touchdown in this game as we played 6 minutes in the second quarter. Northwest Missouri State by a point. Empty backfield for Bowles. Usually means he runs. That's exactly what he does here, but the play gets blown up.
For 70. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
That's on the right tackle, C.J. Keeney. So move him back 5 yards to the 15 and bring back Trevor Adams. By the way, with rotating quarterbacks, do you like that on an offense? Because I've heard the phrase, if you have 2 quarterbacks, you really don't have any in terms of a starter.
In general, no, but usually it seems to work for Northwest Missouri. Again, just kind of gives them a little bit different of a look. I think Trevor Adams knows he's the #1 guy, but you bring in Bowles for a changeup, and it seems to work.
Adams throwing on the slant ball, caught near the end zone, down to the 1. A strike to Corey Jackson.
Excellent job by Corey Jackson. See man-to-man coverage right there. Gets inside the cornerback. Great job picking up that ball. Almost sneaks it in for the touchdown. Just a few yards away.
It's a gain of 14 yards. First and goal now from the 1. Bearcats trying to add to their 7-6 lead. Billy Creasy, the lone running back for quarterback Adams, who this time goes over center. Quarterback sneak ball loose. Who's got it? It's going to be returned. Bearcats fail to score. And Eric Thompson, the free safety, picked up the ball. Oh, what a big break for Grand Valley State. And that was an unforced error.
Seems to be a problem with the center quarterback exchange right there. You always wonder if in this situation if the quarterback tries too early to get going and running forward with the ball instead of getting the snap cleanly first. Appeared to be the case right there. You see the head coach Adam Durrell asking Adams what the heck happened right there, but how about big turnover right there for Grand Valley State as Northwest Missouri was knocking on the door.
Now again, you're shuffling quarterbacks in and out. Does that have any effect?
Well, that's a good point, Jim. At some point, you know, you got two different guys taking snaps, and it could be a factor right there.
Running play on first down, Kirk Spencer. Mentioned earlier, he's missed almost half the season with injuries, but he's healthy now. Approaching 500 yards for the year.
He had a big touchdown in the third quarter last week that really got Grand Valley back in that football game.
This is a vertically based offense, but we have the weather conditions to deal with, and I know when you've been down on the field, you've seen how people try to grip that football. It's not easy. 2nd and 7 for Parley. Parley lost the football and falls on it. Back at the 9.
Well, Jim, you were right on top of that one right there. And I'll tell you what, I've talked to a lot of quarterbacks over my years, as we see right here on the replay. He goes back to chuck this ball downfield and just loses it. And a lot of times quarterbacks tell me, look, a lot of times in the snow there's moisture in the air, so the ball is not as slick. But when you get in these temperatures below 20 degrees, the ball almost gets like a film on it. It's so hard to hold on to. Again, especially without the snow.
What's that old line for the movie? I say it here, it comes out there. 3rd and 16. 7-6 Bearcats. They'll come with 4. Parley's got man coverage on the sidelines. Ball is caught but out of bounds. Jamie Potts with a reception. And it makes it 4th down now for Grand Valley State. They must give up the ball.
It's a great job. Watch Dixon right here. Does a great job. You see defensive backs, the good ones always keep their, and once they have the wide receiver manned up, they keep their head and back in the quarterback. It makes a great play on the ball, forcing Potts out of bounds.
Got that receiver turned to the sideline, so there wasn't any room to catch the ball. So now a 4th and 16. Two very high-powered offenses reduced to a lone touchdown, and in fact, the break in the game is decide if he caught it or not. You know what?
There's 1 foot down, and there's control of the football. Unless they say he was bobbling a little bit at the end there. That's really close. Let's see it again.
Can tell.
Okay, so there's the right foot. And in slow-mo, it looks like that's the question again, is if, here we'll see the angle. Definitely gets the 1 foot down in bounds right there, but they always say you have to possess the ball and make a football move. It looked like that ball was bobbling his hand just a little bit.
So up to replay for our first major call of the game. And it's a big difference in the game. Not only does Grand Valley State keep the ball if this is reversed, but it's good field position away from their end zone. Otherwise, if the play stands, they're going to have to punt. Doyle Jackson is our replay official today.
And we'll get the call here shortly, but I think it's going to be one of those cases where, look, it was called a non-catch, and I don't know if I see enough evidence to overturn it right there.
Philip Kelly is the lead official today with the white hat. We'll look at the two sidelines who now await word on important decision. Play in the field, ruled an incomplete pass. It typically requires irreversible.
Again, this is what they're looking at right here. Again, we know the right foot's down. Is that ball bobbling around his hand just before he goes out of bounds? It looked to me like it was. We'll get the call from the official here in a second.
It's an important call here, too. Here's Philip Kelly. Well, because we can't hear him, everybody's still in suspense. And it is being ruled a catch. So even though audio wasn't available, hand signals indicate a big catch for Grand Valley State, and the Lakers are out of trouble. It's a great play by Potts, their number 2 receiver.
Yeah, it was. Great concentration. Good presence of mind of getting that foot down while his body was twisting toward the outside part of the field.
It's a catch up to the 38-yard line. Timeouts remaining in the first half. 1 for the Lakers and 3 for the Bearcats. So he's parlaying with a lot of room to work with now from the 38. Robinson carries the football for a gain of 2. Chris Robinson is listed at 6'1", 220. And he is picking up a lot of the slack along with Kirk Spencer for the injured Michael Rattay. Not available for the rest of the playoffs. And his sweats on the sidelines for Grand Valley State today due to injury. Man coverage. Incomplete. Intended for Darrell Pitts.
They were seeing the outside part of the screen. Dixon man-to-man coverage. Great job back shoulder throw. Just a little bit high right there for Pitts to be able to pull down. But I thought that Parling put the ball in the perfect spot because Dixon was on the upfield shoulder. Threw it to the back shoulder, but again, Pitts unable to come up with it.
And another significant play for the Lakers on 3rd down, 3rd and 8.
Seems like the Lakers have found themselves in these 3rd and long situations throughout the game, Jim.
Yeah. Very fortunate on the last one in which the call was reversed. That's going to be good for a 1st down. Brandon Green on the catch, their top receiver, who averages almost 23 yards a catch. And they deliver again on 3rd down, Rocky.
And just another 4-man rush, but a good job of Parling staying in there. And it looked like Eileen, the defensive back, may have slipped a little bit and allowed just a little bit of separation for Green. That's a nice job picking up the 1st down. They make it hard on themselves, picking up 3rd and long the last 2 series.
Yeah, they have a flair for the dramatic here. The football's at the 48. Still a distance away from a field goal try because Joel Shipper has not attempted any beyond the 35-yard line this year. Of course, I should say, when you're scoring touchdowns, you don't need field goals as part of your repertoire. 21, Mac Minert in on the tackle there for Northwest Missouri State.
This front 7 for Northwest Missouri is really making it tough to run the ball right now. Grand Valley having a little more success passing the ball at this stage.
A loss of 1 second and 11. This first half has just flown by. A little more than an hour in length. Is it a catch? Yes, to the 31-yard line. Darrell Pitts with a reception and a pickup of 17. They are threading the needle, as the old phrase goes.
Well, Matt Mitchell, Grand Valley's coach, told us this week, with as much man-to-man as Northwest Missouri plays, our guy got to win versus man-to-man coverage. That's an excellent catch right there. See, gets the jam off the line, but a good counter move back to the outside, and then the presence of mind catching the ball, hauling in really with one hand.
You know what? They're going to review that play. They did not get a play off, and I think they may have an argument here because I thought Pitt's foot might have been on the line out of bounds. Take a look at the right foot. That's out of bounds.
Yeah, it looks like as he's just securing that catch right there, the toe of his right foot is out of bounds.
To the Lakers' credit, they got to the line of scrimmage in breakneck speed to try to run a play.
and I think that's Michael Rattay right there, the injured running back. He says it's a catch.
Yeah, well, who could argue with that on the Grand Valley State sidelines? But once again, under review is a reception by a wide receiver.
Had a couple critical reviews here in the last couple plays.
In addition to Kelly's the lead referee, umpires Eddie Howard, Gil Whitmore are the head linesman, Jim Kelly the line judge, Alex Bernick the side judge, Lee McCarthy the field judge, and Mark Helsay is the back judge.
This is the best look we have at, again, no possession, and then that right toe, it's very, very close. But I tend to agree with you, Jim. It looked like his right toe was out of bounds as he was securing the catch.
And you're taking a look at the head coaches of the two sidelines. Top screen is Grand Valley State, bottom screen Northwest Missouri State. And Philip Kelly on the left. He is the man that will let everybody know if the play stands or not. On the field, it was ruled a catch, ruled a completion.
That's what they're looking at again. Juggling, possession, but that, again, it seems to me just as he's gaining possession, that right toe hits the out of bounds line.
For the Bearcats on their sidelines, Trevor Adams is throwing the football right now just to try to stay loose in what is wind chill degree weather of 10 above.
Here's the call.
So with the play standing, first down now at the 30-yard line. So in the second quarter, the Lakers have had two reviews, have won them both, and this drive continues.
And I'm over 2 on replays, Jim. That looked, again, it looked like he did not gain possession
there. So
till his right toe went out of bounds. Grand Valley getting the benefit of the doubt twice.
Head coach Matt Mitchell's team on the move again, trying to regain the lead. Robinson runs into a wall. That wall is moving forward, and he gets 3, maybe 4 yards on the play. Brandon Revenberg, the right tackle, kind of helped him a little bit.
Yeah, he did. The linebacker, Cody Matheson, nice job filling that hole right there, but credit Chris Robinson for keeping those big legs churning, picking up a few yards.
Special teams could be significant today, and Joel Shipper, the field goal kicker for the Lakers, is 13 of 14 on the season and 2 for 2 this afternoon. His range, though, no further than 35 yards. Spencer carrying the football down to the 20, and it should be enough or very close to a first down.
Ball carried by Spencer. Gibson and Reimer on the back. Along the northwest 20-yard line. First down, Lakers.
First down for the Lakers. This drive continues with 3.5 minutes to go.
Okay, with first down on the 20, Jim, I think this is a great opportunity for a shot to the end zone right here. I've seen a couple down the field vertical shots, but again, this is the identity of this offense. And you wonder if they'll go after, see the top of your screen.
And instead, Robinson carries the football for a gain of 2. Nader up to make the initial hit. Well, the Lakers can take their time. They still have a timeout remaining. Well, they don't want the Bearcats with 3 full timeouts to get the ball back.
Yeah, this drive is working out well. Keep bleeding that clock, picking up first downs the hard way.
Matt Mitchell, Adam Doyle, the two head coaches. On second down, Parling to the end zone. A little push up by the defender, and it's incomplete. I think Bryant Dixon might have got away with something there.
Yeah, well, there's your shot to the end zone. See again, man-to-man coverage by Dixon. It looks like there's a little bit of a push off right there. You see the left hand. And then he could have intercepted. I'll tell you what, if he wants to go to the NFL, he's got to pick that ball off. That was a gift.
Intended receiver Darrell Pitts. It is 3rd and 8. Green and Spencer are the two wide receivers. To the right side along with Jamie Potts, number 15. And Grand Valley State will take a timeout, and that'll be its final timeout of the first half.
Timeout, Grand Valley.
Highly competitive Division II semifinal, 7-6. And a big play when we come back.
West Missouri over Grand Valley State. An interesting play just before break there. You see the play clock is at 5 seconds, and you got your tight end, Jamie Potts calling for timeout right there. And I don't understand that. On my team, Jim, I want my quarterback calling timeout. And it looked like there was definitely still enough time. Not a great opportunity, not a great time to burn your last timeout before half. You'd love to be able to save that timeout to be able to line up for a nice field goal.
Not right now. This would be within Shipper's range if they fail to convert on 3rd down. 3rd and 8 from the 18. Parling will give the football to Robinson. They're going to set up for a field goal and an opportunity to regain the lead. And the Bearcats wisely use one of their 3 timeouts so they can get the ball back with some time to operate.
Yeah, that's great clock management by the Bearcats right there.
So Joel Shipper, number 19, comes out for his 3rd field goal attempt. He's 2 for 2 today, and on the season, 13 for 14, and all field goals converted or attempted inside the 35-yard line. We'll come back with the opportunity for the Lakers to regain the lead with 2:29 left, first half. The Lakers regain the lead if he makes it. Has the distance. No good. Just Shipper's 2nd miss of the season, and the Bearcats retain the lead at 7-6.
And talk about a big win for this Bearcat defense, as we see right here on the replay. Looked like the kick just sailed to the right, outside the upright there. But again, that Bearcat defense had two replays not go their way on 3rd down. Had a couple tackles for loss. This Northwest Missouri defense has 5 tackles for loss. It's really been a factor in this run game. And again, right there.
And no tackles for losses for the Lakers yet. That stack wide receiver formation at the bottom of your screen. 2 timeouts remaining in the first half for the Bearcats, who have the 1-point lead. Well, do you get aggressive with the lead, or do you get a little more conservative?
I think you get aggressive right here. Looks like they're going to do it too. A shot down the field.
Bowles has got a receiver. Defender fell down. 35-yard lines to Billy Seiler. Check that, number 18, Bryce Young.
And you'll see much vertical offense, usually more short and intermediate routes right here. But then you get Bryce Young wide open. A great job by Trevor Adams recognizing that. A big chunky yardage play right there for the Bearcats.
Down to the 46-yard line at Grand Valley State as we approach 2 minutes. Play action pass for Adams, shooting one down the field. Incomplete. Intended for Reuben Thomas.
And Thomas had an opportunity to catch this ball again on man-to-man coverage right there. Came back, had the ball in his hands, but unable to come up with it.
Brad Horling, the strong safety, was defending. Clint Utter is not playing today. One of their outstanding receivers for the Bearcats because of a head injury that was suffered recently. He will play in the championship if they get that far. And that's next week. on the ESPN networks in Florence, Alabama. Final year, the D2 finals will be there. Billy Creason carrying the football to the first down of the 34.
I'll tell you what, Jim. That's what down the field shots give to your offense, because then the defense starts to respect that down the field passing game, and then you go ahead and give the ball to your workhorse running back, Billy Creason, to pick up a nice gain here. Again, that defense is not pushing that line of scrimmage like we've seen so much in this game, and offering a great opportunity versus a seven-man box to run the football.
And again, the Bearcats, Rocky, have 2 timeouts remaining here in the first half, protecting a 7-6 lead, which was the score at the end of the first quarter. Adams out of the backfield to Creason. And Creason brought down at the 30-yard line. Let's see if they use a timeout here as Charles Hill, the backup strong safety, made the tackle. And in fact, the Bearcats will use a timeout. They have 1 remaining.
Great play call right here. Grand Valley brings the pressure, but a perfect play call right there versus pressure is a screen, little swing pass right there to Creason.
Billy Creason, number 22, shaken up earlier in the game. He's okay now.
30 seconds. Here we go, Bearcats! Here we go! Here we go! Here we go!
A buck 15 remains in the first half. Lenore Rhine won its game earlier today in the other national semifinal over Westchester. So we have one of our finalists, the second one to be determined. And in almost every matchup between these 2 great programs, there has been a close game of importance. That final earlier today with 4 first half touchdowns. Lenore Rhine 42, Westchester 14. The championship game on December 21st on ESPN2. And that is a week from today. Simon Mathieson, number 88, the attempted field goal kicker here. The 2013 NCAA Division I, Division II, and Division III football championships will continue next week, December 20th and 21st, our games. All on the Watch ESPN app and ESPN3.com. Adams to throw. He's got a man. Ball caught inside the 10-yard line. Ball loose. Grand Valley State says it has it. Is this the 3rd turnover of the game for the Bearcats? Yes, sir. Corey Jackson with a catch, and then he lost the ball.
See right there, as he's fighting for extra yards, looks like, again, he's spinning, and a lot of times you see that happen, Jim. Receivers start to spin around and try to pick up just a few extra yards, and Reggie Williams, a great presence of mind. Watch this right there. As he's spinning around, see the right hand come in right there and pop that ball out.
It won't be too hard to figure that if the Lakers win this game, that winning the turnover margin has been pretty significant.
That was an excellent job by Reggie Williams right there with the presence of mind, just late in that tackle to see that ball pop up and to get that right hand in there and pull the ball out for the big turnover.
Now, Grand Valley State, Rocky, has a timeout remaining, but back in its own 9, you don't expect anything dramatic to happen here, do you?
No, not with 1 minute left. They may try to take one shot, but I expect them to be conservative at this point.
Bearcats are using a timeout, and I wonder if they want this reviewed.
Call on the field.
Yep.
There was a and that
Well, in a game of such importance, the replays are figuring mightily.
Replay review underway.
Call on the field was a pass reception and fumble. Grand Valley State recovered the ball. If this shows irreversible video evidence and gets reversed, Bearcats will keep the football.
See if his knee was down. It was not. That ball is out before his left knee hits the ground.
It's a great strip by number 2, Reggie Williams.
Get another look at it. Again, knee is not down. Knee is still not down. That ball pops out just before his left knee hits. We'll try to see. This is the best angle we have to look at it here. Yeah, that ball's out.
Now you're 0 for 2 today. You're out of your own personal challenges here. In case you want to take a chance. Well, in a game that has featured outstanding defense, it's no surprise. In the last 6 possessions, the Bearcats, only 1 has resulted in a score. But it's the 3 turnovers that have prevented them from having a little bit more sizable advantage in this game.
It really has, and they've done some good things. Billy Creason's done a good job running the ball. Trevor Adams has been very accurate as usual, but turnovers are always are the great equalizer in any offense. You can march that ball up and down the field, gain a bunch of yards, but if you turn the football over, severely decrease your team's chance to win.
We've had some audio difficulties with the microphone for Philip Kelly. They may have a lot to do with the weather today. So we hope to get some hand signals for him to indicate what the call is. Call on the field was a catch and a fumble. Grand Valley State recovered the football, and the great defensive play by Reggie Williams. The Bearcats took a timeout and allowed the officials to take another look.
Yeah, and I don't see this play getting overturned. I know I'm 0 for 2, but that ball is starting to come out just before his left knee hits.
If you miss on this, you'll be banned from the booth
done.
for part of the
leaving.
third quarter. But we'll bring you back for the stretch. Well, after an extraordinarily fast first half, we have slowed down to a crawl with 3 replays here. If the play is reversed, football continues in the hands of the Bearcats and an opportunity to score at the end of the first half. Well, the Bearcats will keep the ball, and Rocky, my friend, you've been dismissed. We'll see you in the third quarter.
I'll tell you what, I'm usually right on top of these replays, and that ball looked like it was coming out before his knee hit. I honestly disagree with that call, not just because I missed it either.
So the Bearcats still have a timeout remaining. 64 seconds, and the football at the 9 of Grand Valley State, first and goal. Adams, the quarterback, Creason, the running back. Wide receiver to the right, Corey Jackson. To the left, Jason Josades. Adams looking to his right, throwing end zone, touchdown. No, incomplete. He did not have it. Intended for Corey Jackson and defended well in the right corner of the end zone.
Perfectly thrown ball. Jackson should have come up with that football for the touchdown catch. See, again, nice job, back shoulder right there just before the defender could get in.
So now second and goal with 48 seconds left, and they'll stack the receivers now to the left of the quarterback, Adams. 9 on the play clock. 7-6, Northwest Missouri State. Adams looking and looking, stepping up and throwing. Ball is caught. Not much of a gain by Bryce Young. There was a penalty flag thrown at the 3-yard line.
Looks like one of the wide receivers may have been held in the back of the end zone.
Yes, sir.
Receiver number 4.
So a defensive holding call.
Yeah, you see right there, that's Reuben Thomas, the wide receiver, getting held the entire time right there. I believe that was Devontae Hurst, the nickel linebacker.
So Grand Valley State, the receiver of a couple of good calls on an earlier drive. Now watch the Bearcats get more than their share of opportunities here and a chance to punch it in for the second time. Still a timeout remains. Clock moving, though, down to a half minute. Everybody in position. Adams ready to go to work. Ball from the 4.
And I don't understand this. They better snap this ball.
Down to 20 seconds. Adams looking. Quarterback draw. Headed to the end zone and brought down. They're going to have to use a timeout here, I think. Down to 10 seconds. No, maybe they'll spike it. And now finally the Bearcats say we can't get off a play. So, well, let's go back to your clock management there. A lot of time you used up, and now we're down to 12 seconds, and you're out of timeouts.
Yeah, and usually an up-tempo offense is used to going fast like that, but on that play right there, in an inopportune time, took too much time right there. And now with 12 seconds, probably have just enough time for one more shot at the end zone, and then with the final. Yeah, just one more. Looks like they'll have time for just one more shot to the end zone. If they don't pick it up, probably have to settle for a field goal.
Any idea what head coach Adam Dorrell might be talking about here?
I wonder if he's just questioning when the clock should have stopped right there, or okay, so here's the play. Runs the quarterback draw. He's down right there at 17 seconds. So getting an extra 5 seconds. Ekes off the clock right there. They should either ran up to the line and clocked the ball or called the timeout sooner. I think in that position, you definitely call the timeout and save yourself an opportunity. Then you get 2 shots for a touchdown at the end zone.
It's second down, and those people who have braved the weather are going to have to stay around a little longer because we've had a number of stoppages of play in this quarter. Second and goal from the 2. No timeouts left for the Bearcats. They're still going to try to punch it in. Adams looks to the sidelines, gets the ball, throws, incomplete. Now we're down to 9 seconds. There's still time for another play.
Still time for one. A quick pass, tried to get the ball out quick. Good defense by Reggie Williams.
Intended for number 7, the wide receiver Jason Josaitis.
Well, this is interesting. Coach Terrell does not think there's enough time for one more play. I usually figure about 4 to 5 seconds for one play. I thought would have left 2 or 3 seconds left for a field goal, but they're going to go ahead and take the safe points.
Instead, Adams has got the ball. He's going to throw it, and it's incomplete, and that play blows up. What a very strange first half of the Bearcats. Off the bad snap and already 2 fumbles.
Yeah, look. Yeah. Look at the ball came out of his hand, out of the center's hands, a little wobbly right there, and created a little bit of confusion for the holder. But how disastrous with the final 3 plays of this drive for Northwest Missouri.
Trevor Adams, the starting quarterback and holder on the play. And now because of the incomplete pass, it is 4th and 2. They'll still have a chance at a field goal. And the kick is good. And with all that, Northwest Missouri State able to get points out of the drive and a first half lead of 10-6. Let's take a break. First half in cold weather, plus 10 degrees, the Dixon boys on hand. And a game that's featured fumbles and play reversals and you name it. 4-point lead. The winner gets to Florence, Alabama. Oh, I wish we could go out there and play with them. 10-6 our halftime score of the other national semifinal game live today on ESPN3, led by Northwest Missouri State 10-6. Here are the first half numbers. Passing yards favoring Northwest Missouri State, but the Bearcats already have a turnover in the red zone.
And we thought this would be a slug 'em out running game, but not many rush yards here at this point, having a little more success through the air. But again, it's the turnovers right there you see for Northwest Missouri State has been the difference in them really pulling away in this football game.
I'm going to show you some highlights of the first half and then get you to the second half, in which Grand Valley State will get the ball first. The winner gets Lenore Ryan in the championship next week in Alabama. Saturday on ESPN2, and this is the third play from scrimmage for the Bearcats, Rocky.
Yeah, and turnovers have really been the story of the first half. That right there, Matt Mosley gets one. Then on the goal line, Northwest Missouri knocking on the door with a big fumble. And here was another one that I still stand by my original call. I thought that was a fumble. Again, it was overturned. The ball went back to Northwest Missouri. But how about this kid right here, Matt Longacre, Conference Defensive Player of the Year, has had a monster first half right there, shedding blocks, tackle for loss. He had 3 tackles for loss and 2 sacks, bringing down Parling right there with authority. They better have an answer for Matt Longacre here in the second half.
I agree. Now, Grand Valley State won the toss to start this football game in very cold weather and elected to defer. So that means the Lakers get the ball to start the third quarter, and Matt Longacre, short sleeve and all, is back out there ready to go to work.
Some brave souls out there today, Jim.
Yeah, a lot of these people got here very early. They love their football in this part of the state and this part of the country. Flash back a little bit too. The last time these two teams met, that was for the national championship in 2009. Grand Valley State scored first in this game and really had an opportunity to put themselves in a pretty good position.
A big day on the ground right there for Northwest Missouri. It's always been kind of the moniker of their offense. Really exploded in the championship game again in 2009. And Grand Valley came storming back. And that was one of the plays that really sealed the game right there. Northwest Missouri takes a knee in the championship, 30-23. That's what's at stake right there, Jim. Some hardware.
Northwest Missouri State winning that game 30-23 with national championships in 1998, 99, and the aforementioned 2009. 4 national titles in a span of 5 years for Grand Valley State. So it's little surprise they get together with the stakes quite significant today, this time in the semifinals, with the winner to move on to the championship, in Florence, Alabama, hosting the D2 finals for the last time next week on ESPN2. It's on to Kansas City the following year.
And again, Grand Valley deferred to the second half because, again, Mac Mitchell loves to get the ball coming out of the third quarter to start to really kind of set the tempo for the second half. It's going to be a great opportunity for Heath Parling and that offense to get going here and try to put some more points on the board.
Laker was able to run the football in the first half for just 38 yards. They threw the ball for 99. And a good kick return to start the third quarter. Number 1, Eric Thompson, who already has 3 kickoff returns for touchdowns in his career, brings this one back in Grand Valley State, and a beautiful start for the second half.
There's some great blocking right here. You see a lot of green bodies on the ground right there. Some great blocking by Green Valley, setting up some fantastic field position to start this drive off.
Football for the Lakers at their own 48, trailing in this game 10-6. Eric Thompson, who's their terrific kickoff return man, averages 26 yards a carry, just bumped up those numbers rather nicely. Heath Parling's the quarterback, threw for 99 yards in the first half on 7 of 12. Bearcats, their blitz picked up. Parling throwing down the field, a man coverage. Dixon back defending, and it is incomplete, intended for number 7, Darrell Pitts.
Well, they open up the second half here trying to take a shot, but it was good coverage by Brandon Dixon. Heath Parling, again, we talked about in the first half, a guy coach gives him the opportunity to change the plays, but depending on what he sees in that defense, that's always such a luxury if you're an offensive coordinator, to have a quarterback with the presence of mind that can get you in the right play after reading the defense.
We have not seen his backup quarterback today, Isaiah Grimes, as they'll run with Brendan Green to the left, and Green swatted up for a loss on the play.
This Northwest Missouri defense really flows with the ball well. Great pursuit. Really was just nowhere to go You see there, just keep stringing that play out until Nader could get there for the tackle.
If the Lakers are unable to run the football effectively in the second half, can they win this game?
It's going to be tough, Jim. You can see here's the position we found them so many times in the first half. 3rd and long, right now 3rd and 11. Makes it hard to convert.
And 3rd down, Grand Valley State is 2 for 7. There was movement. Bearcats seem to think it's a false start coming up against Grand Valley State, and in fact it is. So 3rd and long just got to be 3rd and longer. Football now back at the 42-yard line. Matt Mitchell's team trying to find the end zone today for the first time. Been in a rallying position the last couple of weeks, and here they are in the same spot again. 8 on the line of scrimmage right now for the Bearcats. Let's see who they send.
So they're Parling checking out of the original play call.
They'll rush forward, Parling the throw. Needs to pick up 17, incomplete. The receiver, Darrell Pitts, looking for pass interference, doesn't get it.
Excellent job right there by Brian Dixon, showing his man-to-man cover skills. Gets his eyes back in the ball in perfect position on the wide receiver, Pitts. Reaches his right hand across and bats that ball down, forcing the punt.
And Chris Piccano will be back to punt. Bryce Young, the return from Northwest Missouri State. Still holding on to a 10-6 lead. Makes the catch just inside the 20-yard line, actually at the 15, and it's 1st and 10 now for the Bearcats and their first possession of the second half.
Again, this offense has shown some good ability here in this game, but it's really been disrupted by a lot of flow, a lot of reviews and things like that. This is an up-tempo offense. They want to run a play and get back on the line of scrimmage and run another one, and you know they're hating these stoppage of plays. They can't get the flow that they want.
Only touchdown of the game scored by the backup quarterback, number 10, Brady Bowles. Trevor Adams starts the second half. Nice catch by Corey Jackson up to the 35-yard line. And a pickup on the play at 19.
We talked about in the first half.
4th reception.
Yeah, they're Northwest Missouri without their best wide receiver, Clint Utter, but Corey Jackson and Reuben Thomas have really picked up the slack. Now it looks like, Jim, we're going to get that change of pace with Brady Bowles in the quarterback.
And the game plan was to get Jackson more involved because of the injury to Clint Utter, who will play next week if Northwest Missouri State gets that far. He's suffered a head injury. Bowles straight ahead into the secondary. A pick up a 9. First down for Brady Bowles. Bowles is the team's top rusher. 5 carries, 34 yards.
It was a great job. They pulled the center right there. Quarterback Bowles just does a nice job. He has great vision in the run game. Finds the daylight, scores forward. Now 2nd and 1.
Bearcats have 66 yards rushing today. Let's see if they take a shot down the field. Adams back to pass. He's got a receiver. Ball caught. 35-yard line. And down to the 33, Reuben Thomas. That's a pickup of 23. And here comes Northwest Missouri State.
Eric Thompson, the safety, is playing about 15 yards deep, and Northwest Missouri is really finding some. You see right there, Thompson gets very deep and just opens up the middle of the field. And Trevor Adams, again, with a 74% completion percentage. He'll take that all day long.
Well, that's a sensational number. Now 203 total yards throwing the ball here in this game. Adams again from the shotgun formation, and this time he'll hand it off. That's Phil Jackson, the second, carrying the football. Had a minimal spring due to injury.
Yeah, and Coach talked about how during camp was a guy that really couldn't get the pass protections down. So really limited his play during the year, but last week had a big game, again 4 rushing touchdowns. They love his size, 6 foot, 220 pounds.
Played at Glenbard North High School, just north of Chicago, in Carroll Stream, Illinois. 2nd and 9. 10-6 Northwest Missouri State. The winner gets Lenore Ryan in the finals next week. Billy Creason carrying the football. In the first half, Creason had 3 carries for 17 yards. Well, nobody has numbers today that really jump out at you.
Yeah, especially with the production that their run game put out last week, where they had 296 yards rush, and have a little bit harder time again versus that very stout defensive front for Grand Valley.
Based out with a 3rd and 5. Bearcats 2 for 5 on 3rd down. Adams. Thomas headed to the end zone. Touchdown.
Grand Valley State came with a blitz. They brought the linebackers up the middle, and that means man-to-man coverage, and a great underneath route in the slot by Reuben Thomas. Takes it in for the touchdown. Again, you see the pressure. Trevor Adams hung in there nicely, able to get the ball in the hands of Reuben Thomas. He does the rest.
Bearcats now with a 2-score lead for the first time today in a drive that went 6 plays, 84 yards under 3 minutes. Matisse's extra point is good. Northwest Missouri State 17, Grand Valley State 6. Adams to Thomas for their 2nd score of the game. For the injured Clint Hunter on the touchdown reception from quarterback Trevor Adams, who now has thrown 70 in a terrific career here as quarterback of the Bearcats. Adams hailing from Odessa, Texas, where they play some pretty good high school football there.
Lots of good football in Odessa, absolutely.
They got a big-time return the last time for this man. And Eric Thompson brings it all the way up to the 45-yard line. This guy's quite a weapon for Grand Valley State.
Yeah, and pretty much identical field possession to the last return he had, but now Grand Valley's offense has got to quit shooting themselves in the foot and getting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They've done some good things and had a few good runs, some good passes, but again, on 3rd down, always seem to find themselves in those 3rd and long situations. Got to try to find a way to stay on schedule and face 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1 versus 3rd and 11 like we've seen the last few series.
From the 45-yard line. Lakers an 11-point hold, but that's right where they've been in a number of games this year. Parling on a little bubble screen to Potts. 1st down inside the 40-yard line and dragged out of bounds at the 38. Jamie Potts, the number 2 receiver in this team, with a huge reception on this offensive series for Grand Valley State.
And again, Jamie Potts, a tight end. Good sized guy, 6'3", 225 pounds.
Potts now with 3 receptions on the game. Football spotted at the 37. 10-minute mark, 3rd quarter. Parling this time over center to the running back, Chris Robinson. Let's take time right now to take a look at how our teams plan for success. Brought to you by Northwestern Mutual. It's a 17-6 game right now with 9:45 left in the 3rd quarter.
Again, Robinson's really not had much going in the run game here today.
Spotted the 36. This time Parling from the shotgun. He's got a receiver out of the backfield, Brendan Green, still going with the football. They'll spot him at the 24-yard line. It's a 1st down for Grand Valley State. Brendan Green is quite a weapon. He can run the football on those end-around plays, and he can also catch it, as you've seen on many occasions so far.
There's a nice little arrow route right there. Great route he ran. Getting good position, outside leverage on the defensive back, and providing a great target for Parling to throw to.
Official spot is at the 23. Lakers need a score badly. Parling's got a receiver to the end zone, touchdown. No, incomplete. Unable to hold on to it.
great job by Parling there. Puts the ball in a perfect spot. Wide open. Got man-to-man coverage on the linebacker, Cody Mathewson. It's a good matchup. If you're a wide receiver and you get an opportunity to catch a touchdown pass, you got to hold on to that ball. That's a critical play. Could have got Grand Valley right back in this game.
Intended for Ben Hutchins, so the play goes as an incompleted pass, 2nd and 10. They'll run the football now on 2nd down. Kirk Spencer, the ball carrier. Grand Valley State has had its difficulty running the ball in the course of the game. Joel Shipper has hit a couple of field goals for him today, missed one from 35 yards out. And they are certainly within field goal range right here if this drive was to stall. Head coach is Matt Mitchell. Trying to dial up a play on 3rd down that will sustain this drive. Blitz against Parling, had to get rid of it pretty quickly. They brought the heat with the Mike linebacker, G.J. Nader, and he had to get rid of the ball in a hurry.
Yeah, there was some pressure in his face right there, and it was our guy, Matt Longacre, on the pressure, forced a low throw to Potts. Looks like Grand Valley is considering going for this on 4th down.
Well, this is within Shipper's range. They have elected to negate the field goal and try to pick up the 6. They got to get the football to the 13.
Northwest Missouri stacking the line of scrimmage. Now Parling changes the play.
And this indecision is going to cost Grand Valley State a timeout. Come back with a critical 4th and 6 with 8 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter today from Maryville, Missouri. It's in the 2nd half, brought to you by Northwestern Mutual. Let's begin with Grand Valley State trying to beat that man-to-man of the Bearcats.
Yeah, they do, and the Dixon brothers from Northwest Missouri have done a good job in man-to-man coverage. Grand Valley's got to win some more of those one-on-one matchups and also sustaining some drives. 3rd down has really been the problem. They found themselves in 3rd and long too many times. Northwest Missouri has not run the football that well today and also not won the turnover margin. I think here in the 2nd half it's going to be critical that they limit those turnovers and try to get some themselves on defense.
From the left hash, Joel Shipper will try a 36-yarder, which would be his longest of the season. Missed one earlier from 35. And misses on this one as well. So not only do you miss a field goal opportunity, but you burn a timeout.
In between the 30s, Grand Valley has been unstoppable on offense, but credit Northwest Missouri for down inside the red zone have really secured themselves for some long field goals, and that's the 2nd one that Grand Valley's missed today.
Shipper, a true freshman from Grand Rapids, Michigan, which is quite close to the Allendale campus. Bearcats back with the football. 8 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter, and now with a 17-6 lead and the ball. Empty backfield for Trevor Adams. Make that Bowles, who's throwing along to his receiver, nearly picked off. Defended nicely by number 1 Eric Thompson on a pass intended for 17 Hayden Bryant.
I really like the design of that play right there. Obviously, Bowles is more the running guy, so he fakes the run, then steps back, and they try to take the long shot downfield, but the high safety, Thompson right there, does a great job of knocking that ball down, and that would have been a catch to Reuben Thomas. Like that play design, though.
Yeah, and Thomas has become a principal receiver for them today. 2nd and 10. Can't throw for the 1st down, they'll run for it instead. Phil Jackson, the ball carrier. And Jackson able to carry the football up to the 32-yard line.
We just talked about the plan for success here in the 2nd half. They got to run the football a little bit better. And here is a nice run by the big body Phil Jackson. Finds a little hole, makes a cutback, picks up the 1st down.
Yeah, Bearcats in a pretty good spot right now, Rocky. Halfway through the 3rd, they've got a 2-score lead. They have a 1st down, decent territory, and all they have to do is maintain some drives and chew up some clock. And they're doing just that. Jackson again, midfield, inside the 40, penalty flag thrown. That'll probably bring this play back a bit as Jackson was able to carry for significant yardage of 30.
That's going to be a shame because that was a great hole the offensive line provided right there for Jackson. Yeah, and Adam Durrell is trying to get some clarification on who the call was on. We're not going to get the referee's mic. His mic has been down most of the game here, but looks like the penalty is on Northwest Missouri.
Philip Kelly is our referee today. In the first half, 5 penalties whistled between the two teams for just a combined 35 yards. So instead of Jackson's carry into Grand Valley State territory, from the initial spot, 15 yards back, 1st and 5 at the 38.
And obviously a penalty always hurts an offense, but especially if you're an up-tempo offense, you want to get back on the line. It really just disrupts your rhythm. Now they're going to have to take another shot at 1st and 5.
Bowles maybe changing the play, and he'll run the football. Bowles running for the first down to the 50 and out of bounds to the 46. Brady Bowles, the backup quarterback, able to run for a first down and a pickup of 17.
And this is why this 2-quarterback system is so dangerous right there. Nice little quarterback draw. Great vision on Bowles right there, switching the ball to his left arm. And right now this offense for Northwest Missouri really clicking, getting some yards in the run game.
Reggie Williams ran him out of bounds. 1st and 10 now from the 46. That's Billy Crease in the ball carry, and he's able to carry to the 41 and a pickup of 5. And right now for the Bearcats, everything is clicking in their direction. They have not lost a game this year. They're 13-0, trying to get back to the national championship game, and will face Lenore-Rhine next week, next Saturday on ESPN2.
To me, the real difference between these offenses right now is Grand Valley is sputtering on 1st and 2nd down and really hurting themselves, getting in 3rd and long situations. On the flip side, Northwest Missouri doing a good job on 1st down here in a much more manageable 2nd and 5.
Trevor Adams, the starting quarterback, able to hand off to Creason. Creason into the secondary, still with a football, down to the 10-yard line, and a pickup of 31 yards for the senior running back out of Grand Valley, Missouri.
Well, Grand Valley brings pressure off the edges and really just opens up the middle for Creason. This is where he is so dangerous, just taking that north-south track down the field. Did a lot of that last week, and here now again that running game really starting to pick up steam.
Lucas Kozu, number 48, able to save the touchdown for Grand Valley State. Now 1st and 10 in the red zone from the 12.
Look at that line of scrimmage getting stacked by Grand Valley.
You almost get the feeling right now that the Bearcats recognize this is a chance to go in for the kill.
Yeah, they're knocking on the door right here. And here's what I'm talking about. Just look at this still shot right there. There's 9 bodies. There's one out of the picture right there, but 9 bodies on line of scrimmage. Grand Valley State does not want this ball run right up their throats.
Getting down to 4.5 minutes for the 3rd quarter. Adams to the end zone. Incomplete. Intended for Reuben Thompson. Defended well by Eric Thompson.
There's a little slant right there by Thomas. And Thompson almost got beat to the inside there. Made a nice recovery and affected that throw. Knocking the ball. That was a great job of recovery right there by Thompson. He was out of position at the get-go, but was able to recover.
Shotgun formation for Adams. He's got 4 receivers to choose from. Now he brings Creason over to pass protect. Adams will keep the football, carries down to the 7-yard line. It is short of the first down. They'll bring on the field goal crew in Simon Mathieson. Trevor Adams, very strong in his religious faith, spent some time in Haiti helping an underprivileged country there. And now Thiessen for 25 yards out. This field goal is good. 2-touchdown lead now for the Bearcats at 20-6 with 3:55 remaining in the third. In 1905, enrollment a shade under 7,000. They play in the MIAA, and they've made a playoff appearance now for the last 10 years. National champions in 98, 99, and 2009. We were in the middle of graduation yesterday as we were visiting with the coaches.
Yeah, saw lots of caps and gowns walking around. A couple of players actually. Billy Creaston, I believe, graduated early.
And you saw some of our cold weather fans. It gets colder as the day progresses. This return for the 15. Not much available for Reggie Williams. Well, that's a pretty good spot if it's August. But today, because of the cold temperatures, light snow, there was a winter weather forecast in terms of a storm last night in this area. Right now, that doesn't look like a real attractive spot to me.
No, that wind definitely whips through this stadium. It's almost like a hunting blind right there.
Yeah.
Looking for some deer way out there.
Saw by the numbers, Grand Valley State just 42 yards rushing, 130 throwing. And a need to sustain some drives and get some touchdowns. Harling on first down. Shooting one down the field. Reception made up at the 47-yard line. That's a good start to this series by number 26, Brendan Green.
When we talk about our second half keys, these receivers got to start beating man-to-man coverage. That was a nice job, perfect throw by Parling over a great defensive back in Brandon Dixon. That's just the kind of big play this Grand Valley offense needed.
And again, they have come from behind in a number of situations this year. That includes the playoffs, so they're hardly out of this one. Running the football on first down and running effectively down to the 45-yard line is Hershey Jackson. That's the first time that Hershey's got a chance to run the football.
He's just another one of those running backs. Again, the deepest position group on this football team is the running back room. Hershey Jackson with a nice little end around. Good quick hitting type play right there.
So you get a pass play of 30, Rocky. Now a run play of 8 on first down.
Second short could be an opportunity to take a shot downfield. Man-to-man coverage on the top.
Play clock at 4. They'll run for the first down instead. Robinson's got it. Breaks the tackle and brought down inside the 35. Chris Robinson carrying for the first down. So Grand Valley State trying to answer with a huge touchdown here. To this point, the Lakers have been denying a touchdown.
This is the most success Robinson's had on the ground so far today. Good job. The hole was plugged up, but had some good vision. Busted back out to the right side, broke a tackle, picked up the first down.
Lakers led in this game 3-0 and 6-0. Got behind 7-6 and have been behind ever since. Keith Parling throwing. That's his favorite route so far. Ball caught again. Parling is finding the edge to his liking.
Well, and Jim, I'll tell you what, they are finding a weakness right now in Brandon Dixon. This is the second time in 3 plays they've gone after him. They must like that matchup. Brandon Green again. Parling doing a nice job again. With Dixon getting so far upfield, Parling doing the correct thing and throwing that ball to the back shoulder short of the defensive back. And credit a kid like that, Brandon Green, able to adjust to the football in the air.
That reception all the way to the 7-yard line.
But it means nothing, Jim. This is where they got to be better here in the red zone.
And because they do miss field goals, they have to get a touchdown. In fact, those 2 field goals will have them within 8. Instead, they're down 14, and getting 6 here is mandatory. Chris Robinson has carried most of the load at the running back spot as Brian Hubble, 42, is up to make the tackle with 51, Eric Reimer. Robinson today, 13 carries, 53 yards, a shade over 4 yards per carry. Play clock down to 7. Carling over center. They'll run the football again, and that's going nowhere. Although Robinson was able to break a tackle and get away from 99 Brandon Yost for the moment.
Yeah, Brandon Yost had Robinson tackled in the backfield for about a 2-yard loss. Right there you see him beating the center's block. To credit the powerful legs of Robinson, making something out of nothing right there. At least getting back to the 4-yard line.
I would think this is 4-down territory for the Lakers.
At this stage in the game, just before the 4th quarter, I think you're absolutely right, Jim.
Even though you're in chip shot field goal range, you need touchdowns.
Jamie Potts, the top of your screen right there, man-to-man.
Carling looks for a man out of the backfield, ball dropped. Intended for Chris Robinson. Had he caught it, he might have scored.
And he would have right there. You see Potts out there. Great blocks right there. He is wide open if he catches this ball, but it looks like it was one of those situations, Jim. He knew he had the open field in front of him and forgot to secure the ball before he took it in. And he's upset right now.
Yeah, and he should be. Now on 4th down. Need to pick up 4 yards for the touchdown, and they're going to go for it. Snap back to Parling, looking, fade route end zone. Touchdown!
Well, it was a play early in my call, Jim. I thought they would go to Jamie Potts. Singled up on Brandon Dixon. Is a great job. And I tell you what, you'd love to see Brandon Dixon get his hands on the bigger body wide receiver right there. He doesn't, and I think that creates an advantage for Jamie Potts. Again, 6'3", he has the size advantage, and if a wide receiver has a size advantage, you want to try to disrupt their route. Brandon Dixon does not do that. And Potts comes down for the touchdown.
Potts at 6'3", matched up against the 6-foot Dixon. Joel Shipper for his first extra point as the Lakers have scored their first touchdown of the game. Grand Valley State very much back in it now, down 20-13. And again, Matt Mitchell's team, he's the head coach of the Lakers, have shown some resilience over the weeks, particularly in the playoffs, on coming from behind.
Yeah, you can really sense that this Grand Valley team has got some life back into them now. Again, they're so good between the 30-yard lines in this game, but came up short in the red zone, finally able to get the touchdown.
8-play, 77-yard drive, answering the field goal by Northwest Missouri State.
See Coach Doyle right there talking to Brandon Dixon about the coverage. And I have to imagine, Jim, he's saying, look, versus a bigger bodied guy that's got 3 inches on, you want to get your hands on him and try to disrupt his route.
I think you're right. They have found a hole in that secondary and are starting to exploit it with Brendan Green, the wide receiver. And this time on the touchdown, Jamie Potts.
Yeah, we'll see it one more time again. Dixon just retreats right there and just gives a bigger bodied wide receiver a free release and an opportunity to catch the ball. And that's the 3rd time they've gone after Dixon on that drive. They sense a little blood in the water, Jim, and I have to imagine they're going to go back to that again and again.
Oh, yeah.
Seem to like that matchup, and this is where an opportunity where an NFL caliber defensive back in Brandon Dixon has got to put those plays behind him, get them out of his head, and come back and play some great football.
Marco Adarosa to kick off. This returnable at the 5. Good kick coverage by Grand Valley State. We'll start the 4th quarter with the Bearcats with the football and protecting a 7-point lead. 20-13 after 3. Back with more on ESPN 3 in the fourth.
One turnover is going to swing the game one way or another. Grand Valley's got to do a good job holding on the football.
Bearcats have the footballs. We start the fourth. 1st and 10 from their own 23. Crease in the ball carry with a head of steam. Gets a first down and a carry to the 34, but penalty flag thrown in at the end of the play.
Tackle by Williams.
Philip Kelly, their lead referee, signals holding on the Bearcats. Well, the first three-quarter numbers for both teams, 231 passing yards for Northwest Missouri State, 185 for Grand Valley State. Total yardage is about a 150-yard difference in favor of the Bearcats. You mentioned those 2 turnovers. One for Northwest Missouri State was in the red zone in the first half.
Yeah, it was on the 1-yard line and really would have started to put this game out of reach. Grand Valley very opportune picking up some turnovers.
So with the penalty, 1st and 17 for the Bearcats. Play action for Adams. Throwing it in the backfield to Ruben Thomas. Thomas with the catch. They'll tie him up. And the official spot will be close to the 25-yard line. So they got back some of the penalty yardage, certainly, and they'll be set with a 2nd and 8. Ruben Thomas has become quite a weapon today, along with Corey Jackson. Both replacing Clint Utter, who has a head injury and was very close to returning to action today, according to head coach Adam Doral, but they'll hold him out. Hopefully there'll be another week to play.
Yeah, anymore, Jim. They don't take any chances with head injuries, and rightfully so. So should they win, he should be back for next week's game.
Cole Chevalier, 65, is the center. Shotgun formation, back to the quarterback, and the handoff to Billy Creason, who again was a member of Northwest Missouri State's 2009 national championship team. Good downhill runner. Well, 1st and 17, now to 3rd and 4. Big play for this Grand Valley State defense. Adams to Thomas, caught, still going with the football. Ruben Thomas up to midfield. Huge pickup on 3rd down and 19 yards. The Bearcats keep possession of the ball.
Grand Valley brought pressure right there, and you know what that means? That means single coverage on the back end. And a great job by Ruben Thomas. We talked about him a lot. He's had a big game, again taking the place of Utter. But that was just a nice job by Adams right there again. Staying secure in the pocket, knowing the blitz was coming and knowing he was going to get man-to-man coverage behind it.
If you're just joining us, Northwest Missouri State is in the forest green and white uniforms, leading this National Division II semifinal 20-13. Phil Jackson carrying the football and stood up at midfield after a gain of 2. Been a steady diet today of Creason and Jackson, a little bit of Robert Burton. And Brady Bowles, the second quarterback in command for Northwest Missouri State, with a number of runs as well, 1 for touchdown.
And if I'm in Northwest Missouri, I'd get Brady Bowles back on the field. He's been a real weapon today, Jim, being that change of pace, guys, provide this offense a spark. And I think at some point here in the next few plays, we're going to see Brady Bowles back in the game.
But sticking with Adams, who seems to have the hot hand right now. Play clock at 5. They'll give it to Jackson. Will Jackson straight ahead, setting up a 3rd and manageable, 3rd and 5. Phil Jackson, the second, the redshirt freshman from Carroll Stream, Illinois. Bearcats on 3rd down, 4 of 8. Grand Valley State just 2 of 10. It was 7-6 at the end of the quarter, 10-6 at the break, and after 3, 20-13. We have now entered into the fourth.
It's going to be interesting to see if Grand Valley decides to bring pressure out here on 3rd down and 5.
Lakers instead rush 3. Drop 8. First down catch. And a big one, although The spot could leave the Bearcats a little short. We'll see. Reuben Thomas on the reception.
And they don't bring the pressure in. Instead, just rush 3. Going to depend on the spot here. They're not even going to measure.
And the Bearcats will give up the ball. So with the football at the 43 of Grand Valley State, they won't take a chance. And instead, Kyle Goodburn will try to pooch one and pin it inside the 20. Now your defense has played quite well all day long, minus the last drive. This ball is headed to the end zone, and that's exactly where it will land. So Grand Valley State, 4.5 minutes into the final quarter, now has a chance with a long drive to tie the game. It is 20-13. Keep those lips warm, folks. Northwest Missouri State, frequent visitors to the playoffs and typically visitors to the national championship. These two teams played each other in 05, got together again in 06. Grand Valley State back-to-back titles. And then in 07, Northwest Missouri State to the finals, but losing to Valdosta State 25-20. In 2008, Bearcats again in the final game, again come up short, 21-14 to Minnesota Duluth. Then in 2009, the Bearcats found their way to the national championship game and a victory over Grand Valley State. On a night where the moon is in full view. We're early into the fourth quarter. Rocky Boyman and Jim Barber on ESPN3 got a good one, and we could have a great finish before it is over. Football in the hands of Grand Valley State. Parling on first down. To the sidelines and a pickup of 6.
And look who they're picking on again, Jim. Number 1, Brandon Dixon. They seem to really like that matchup. And Brandon Dixon, again, a lot of accolades, a lot of NFL teams looking at both him and his twin brother, Brian. But especially in this second half, they are picking on Brandon Dixon. There's no question about it.
So what do you think they're seeing here? That
I just think they sense some blood in the water right now. You see, obviously confidence is such the biggest issue if you're a cornerback. And I think right now they're inside the head of Brandon Dixon.
second and down, end around play to Green, who carries it a first down up to the 37 and a pickup 11 for Brendan Green. And what a luxury you have in this senior wide receiver / running back that he can do a lot of different things with the ball.
Yeah, not the biggest guy on the field by no means at 5'10", 180 pounds, but man, he is quick. Just a nice job on those jet sweeps right there, able to put his foot in the ground and get north-south quick. Broke a couple tackles.
Lakers taking a lot of time getting this play in. The play clock is down to 10. And they're going to have to burn a timeout, and that's not good.
That's about the third time we've seen that here today, Jim. I don't know what the issue is with them getting the play in, but you always hate to burn those timeouts early in quarters like this.
For Grand Valley State, down to just one timeout for the remainder of the game, and trailing by 7. Grand Valley State with the football, down 7. Rocky Boyman and Jim Barber.
And Grand Valley with only 75 rushing yards on the game, which is a little bit of a surprise to us, but have had a lot of success, especially here in the second half, passing the football.
Bearcats with a traditional rush of 4 to Potts. Potts with a first down catch. And a gain of 8, maybe close to 9 yards. And Jamie Potts has become a popular receiver here in the second half.
And I get the sense that Grand Valley is finally realizing they have a significant size advantage with their wide receivers and tight end. Darrell Pitts, 6'2", Jamie Potts, 6'3", over the 6-foot-tall cornerbacks in both Brandon and Brian Dixon. Really exploiting that size advantage here in the second half.
Tim Morrison is the offensive coordinator for Grand Valley State. Just shy of the 50-yard line. Touchdown would pull them even. They're setting up the screen to Potts. And Potts trips inside the 50 at the 48, a gain of 4 on first down.
That play was set up nicely right there. A little wide receiver screen. Got the offensive lineman getting out early and providing some blocks. Unfortunately, Potts slipped and fell. Could have had a few more yards in that play.
Heath Parling, 15 for 25 today, 205 yards and a touchdown throw. The Lakers have 1 second half timeout remaining. Had to burn a couple already. The winner gets Lenore Ryan in Florence, Alabama next week. Fake the green, they go up the middle, Robinson. Robinson meets a wall there. DJ Nader among many to make the stop. Earlier today, Lenore Ryan jumped out with 4 first-half touchdowns to beat Westchester 42-14. Championship game is a week from today on ESPN2. And I don't think these folks have sat down on the Bearcats side for the entire game.
Now this crowd is keeping this defense in the game, and obviously 3rd and 7 right here. You have to imagine it's going to be a pass. Interesting to see if Northwest Missouri plays man-to-man or goes zone.
Empty backfield for Parling. Parling in trouble, swallowed up.
Nice job. This pocket just absolutely collapses. Only rush 4. But you see right there, the offensive tackle turned back and left Bryant Hummel wide open free right there. You see number 42 with a big sack and an opportune time.
So Grand Valley State elects to give up the ball on 4th and 15. 1 timeout remaining in the second half. And a fair catch being called at the 20. Coming up, we'll explore the goalpost fund here on campus at Northwest Missouri State. And yes, they've got one. 20-13 our score. The goalposts, well, they're in position right now to be turned down and torn down before this game is over. That's a tradition here at Northwest Missouri State, particularly because they reached the finals in a number of years. And if that is to occur, both posts will come down. One will go to Colden Pond, which is nearby. The other goes up to a local watering hole. And don't worry, they've done this so much, they actually have a goalpost fund of $10,000 to replace the ones that are typically torn down.
You see some fans in the stands right there, Jim. They're getting those arms and legs limbered up here to, if their team holds on with just 6:40 left to go in this game, they're going to be out on that field tearing those goalposts down.
Wouldn't you like to meet the people that actually fund this fund?
It's one of those things where it's like, yeah, we're happy you guys won, but more, this is going to cost us another 10 grand.
Yeah, and they've got the money for it.
Yeah, they set aside $10,000 every year because they know this posts are coming down. Pretty cool tradition.
And of course, our cameras will follow this deep into the night. On 2nd down, short gain, and I think back to the fact that the Lakers have already lost 2 timeouts here in the second half. So making a stop here becomes imperative as Billy Creason picks up 3.
Yeah, this is a huge opportunity right here for Northwest Missouri. Again, as you mentioned, Lakers with only 1 timeout. If they can convert, that's just going to be more time going to click off that play clock there.
Offensive Player of the Year, the quarterback Trevor Adams. On 3rd and 2. Here comes pressure, throws, first down. And then some. Bryce Young is loose. Young in a Grand Valley State territory, slips to the 43, but not until he has a pickup of 30.
Excellent job, just a crossing route. Good job off the line of scrimmage after beats Reggie Williams inside. And Reggie Williams goes for the strip right there, tries to get the turnover, but does not secure the tackle. Heath Parling was going the way of Young all the way right there. Critical conversion right there for Northwest.
And you know, Rocky, even if this drive stalls, I can pump this deep into Lakers territory and then just play defense the rest of the way. Instead, Adams shooting one down the field. He's got Thomas. Touchdown. Get ready with those goalposts.
How about Reuben Thomas? What a day he has had. Again, matched up man-to-man versus Grand Valley's best cover corner, and Reggie Williams just uses his speed, gets behind Williams for the easy touchdown. Love the aggressive play calling right there by Northwest Missouri. And now going looking soon to be up 27-13. This game was just with under 5 minutes, just starting to get out of reach.
Quick scoring drive, 4 plays, 80 yards, and $155. Back to a 2-touchdown lead for Northwest Missouri State. Perfect in 13 games. Well, Adams will follow the rest of his offensive line into the,
he's fired up.
End zone.
Well, he's been everything is advertised. We talked about his accuracy, not quite as accurate as he's been on the season, but still 15 to 21, 284 yards, and now just then his 2nd touchdown on the day.
He has thrown now just shy of 2,800 yards for the season. 2 touchdown passes today, and Matt Mitchell's team now in a hole. Total yards have been quite a disparity. And for Grand Valley State, they're going to have to throw it every down now here to even think of having a chance.
But remember, they do have an opportunity, though. They've had some success going against Brandon Dixon and Brian Dixon man-to-man coverage. And now they're definitely going to need those tall, big-bodied wide receivers to come up with some big plays here.
Well, you can think, too, defensively, even though you rush with 4, you can drop a man now and force Grand Valley State to march down the field in increments and use a lot of clock to do it. Eric Thompson to try to make something happen here. He is a good return man. Takes this one past the 20-yard line. The Bearcats, though, have allowed just 1 touchdown today, Rocky, and that was during a drive recently.
Well, this defense for Northwest Missouri has been attacking all day long. Matt Longacre has been a force up front. This defense has forced 8 tackles for loss and really come up big in critical situations in the red zone, especially. Right there, you get Brian Hummel with a big sack that again kept Grand Valley State out of the end zone.
If you're Richard Wright, the defensive coordinator of the Bearcats, how do you play this here?
Well, I think right now you don't get aggressive. I say you drop 8 and only rush 3.
On first down, they'll rush 4. Man coverage down the sidelines, incomplete. Intended for number 26, Brendan Green. And number 2, Brian Dixon, running step for step with him there.
Remember, this is a vertical-based offense, so they're used to getting the ball downfield. It's not something they rarely do or anything, so they like their chances, they like their odds. And getting some balls downfield. Heath Parlin's been very accurate today. And we saw Dixon come up a little bit gimpy on that last play there. Got to wonder if they'll go after him.
Heath Parling, the quarterback for Grand Valley State, with no choice here but to throw the ball. Trying to pick up valuable yardage quickly. And that pass over the head of Darrell Pitts.
Yeah, and I definitely think that Heath Parling sees that Brian Dixon's a little bit gimpy right now, because he definitely went after him on that play. And Brian Dixon was in no position to make a play had that ball been accurately thrown.
Rocky, if you're Grand Valley State and you fail to get the yardage on 3rd down, we go for it on 4th.
I think you got to, but I think right now you don't have to pick up 10 yards. You don't have to pick up a first down on this play, but you at least got to get into a manageable 4th down situation.
Just 2 for 11 on 3rd down are the Lakers. Five receivers set. Parling to throw to Green. And Green dropped before the line of scrimmage. Ball loose. Northwest Missouri State says it has it. The line judge says, wait a minute, he was down. Brandon Yost, number 99, in the middle of all of it.
You see right here, you see Brandon Green fighting for some more yardage. It's hard to tell from that angle. It's a tough one. It's hard to tell if his knee is down before that ball comes out.
Well, this is interesting. 4 minutes to go in the game, and they're punting the ball away.
Don't quite understand this call right here.
And I think the play is going to be reviewed before anything happens. That's the previous play.
To Northwest Missouri.
And I would think if you're Grand Valley State, don't you revisit this decision here?
I think you have to.
I mean, because basically, as you punt the ball away, you're not going to have the ball for another couple of minutes. You only have one timeout in which you can stop the clock.
Yeah, and you're down 2 touchdowns at this point with under 4 minutes to play. I think you really got to revisit this and consider going for it.
It's a 4th and 8 as we stand now with the ball at the 24, and certainly if the Lakers don't make it, should they take the risk, game over. But the fact is, if you punt the ball away, your chances of winning are pretty slim anyway.
And obviously, depending on what the referee determines was the outcome of that play, if it was a turnover or not, this could be a blessing in disguise here for Grand Valley State. They get to kind of reset themselves and consider if they want to go for this play. If I'm the coach right now, if I'm Coach Mitchell, I'm electing to go for it. I don't think there's enough time to punt this ball away and expect to score 2 touchdowns.
And again, you can only stop the clock one more time.
Try to get one more look here. See the punch out right there. It looked from that angle that ball was coming out of his hands before his knee hit the ground. Try to see one more time here. So, here, there's the punch right there. That ball is out. And I know I'm 0 for 3, Jim, but I don't think I'm going 0 for 4. That ball looked out.
I admire your courage, Rocky. There's no quit in you. It's our 4th official review of the game.
Yeah, this is a tough look on this play right here. But you see the punch coming in right there. Again, hard to tell from that angle. From the other angle, it looked like the ball could have been out before his knee hit the ground.
If it's a turnover, Grand Valley State is done.
Yeah, game over.
If it's not, we're back to 4th and 8. And would Matt Mitchell change his mind and decide to go for it instead of punt? The ruling apparently is going to stand. Let's see if the Lakers change their mind here.
Well, yeah, with the call standing right here, we'll see what they come out with. And if I'm Matt Mitchell right here, I come out, I try to draw up whatever my best offensive play is and run it.
So no fumble on the field.
Yeah, I think what they're calling, Jim, is that his forward progress was stopped before the ball came out. Because on the replay, you could clearly see the ball was out.
And they're going to go for it here, and they should.
Yes.
And guess what? Northwest Missouri State out of position. So the Bearcats will use a timeout to get set. Defensive coordinator Richard Wright and his team recognizing that they were in a tough spot there. But it's the right call for Grand Valley State. Otherwise, you've got no chance of winning.
Right.
One game already complete in the national semifinals. Lenore-Rhyne defeated Westchester 42-14. The winner will face Lenore-Rhyne in Florence, Alabama next week. Scott Bostwick, who was the head coach for a short period of time at Northwest Missouri State, defensive coordinator, a lot of these great teams, passed away in 2011. Coaches were telling us yesterday he used to love Florence, Alabama, said it was one of his favorite spots because it was the championship site. His memory living on as the Bearcats hope to get back to Florence, Alabama for the final time. The Lakers need 8. They need to get to the 32. Empty backfield for Parling. Throwing's got a receiver, ball caught. First down and then some. Huge catch by Darrell Pitts, and if you're Matt Mitchell, aren't you glad you changed your mind there?
Absolutely. He found a wide open Daryl Pitts right there, who almost bobbled this play. And Northwest Missouri uncharacteristically played zone defense on that play. Again, something they're not used to playing as much. And now we see Grand Valley State hurrying up and getting to the line, snap another play.
3:15 left. Four-man rush, shooting one down the field, incomplete. Dixon back defending on Jamie Potts.
Again, that's the second play in a row we've seen Northwest Missouri, who characteristically is a man-to-man defense 9 times out of 10. You have to wonder if they're sensing the fact that, again, Grand Valley's going after Brandon Dixon right now. And let's give him a little bit better opportunity, a little more help in zone defense.
2-score deficit for Grand Valley State. And 1 timeout left. Heath Parley across the middle of the field, incomplete, intended for Potts. Inside the 25. Bryce Enyard, number 29, was back defending.
They had the perfect play called right there. Northwest Missouri was playing cover 2, so the middle of the field was vacant. Would have taken a perfect throw. Again, you see right now Northwest Missouri sitting back in that zone, not trying to be aggressive with man-to-man as much.
That's a position of luxury to be in with a 2-touchdown lead and facing a team that's converted on 3rd down just twice in 12 tries. Again, Grand Valley State goes empty. Ball loose. Northwest Missouri State's got it.
And who else, Jim? Matt Longacre coming with the pressure. Sacks Heath Parling, pops the ball out, and that is going to be the football game.
Kevin Arnold fell on it for the Bearcats, who now are getting set for a trip to Florence, Alabama.
And look, if you can bring pressure with just rushing 4, and look at a nice underneath move, counter back inside by Matt Longacre. Well, he's just a junior. He's going to be coming back next year, but I see NFL potential for Matt Longacre. Nice size, 6'3", 240 pounds, with a great inside move. We've seen that a couple times today, Jim.
4 sacks by the Bearcats, and if you take a look in the end zone, they are getting set for the goalpost celebration. You know, they've done it so many times here, Rocky, they're starting to think maybe they'll offer it as an elective. This way you could get annual funding for it.
That's right. Now we see them giving the ball to their big body running back, Phil Jackson.
Again, this goalpost, both goalposts will come down. One goes to a local pond and the other one to a local watering hole, otherwise known as a bar.
Here where they take a metal saw to it, chop it up into pieces, and a bunch of fans are going to go home with some keepsakes here tonight.
Yes, sir. Those dormitories are going to be filled in the next couple of weeks. 2nd and 3, doesn't really matter here as Jackson carries the football. Bearcats answered a touchdown from Grand Valley State, which cut the lead to 7 with a score of their own. And now with roughly more than 2 minutes remaining in the game, are set for a trip to the national championship.
And Grand Valley's going to go ahead and use their final timeout. So obviously if Northwest Missouri can pick up a 1st down here on 3rd and 2, the game will be over. And look at this, Jim. You see what's been the contributing factor to Northwest Missouri's success, scoring 4 of their last 5 possessions, really turned it on here. Again, the first half, they had some more opportunities, gave up couple of fumbles. And Reuben Thomas, he's been the guy. Again, stepping in for the injured Clint Hutter. Nice job at JUCO transfer, doing a great job versus some man-to-man coverage, great job versus zone. If you have a receiver that can do this, break tackles, and get in the end zone, that is a winning combination. He's done a great job. So you can hear also some short passes and the ability to catch the long ball, getting behind Reggie Williams, the cornerback. Big key to their success today.
Thomas with 7 catches, 143 yards, 2 touchdowns. Billy Creason straight ahead for the first down, and that'll seal it. They're starting to celebrate on the Bearcats sidelines, and why not? A perfect season will continue into Florence, Alabama next Saturday. Adam Dorrell's team heading to the championship.
We talked about it, Jim. Grand Valley's offense did a great job between the 30-yard lines today, but down inside that red zone, Northwest Missouri's defense really came on, forced 2 field goals, 2 missed field goals, 2 made ones, and then just 1 touchdown.
Bearcats just have a few seconds to snap the ball, and that's going to be a penalty on them as they were unable to get a play off. Won't matter. Well, Adam Dorrell was a player here, was an assistant coach here, and you ask him about approaching the playoffs. He says, yeah, there's pressure. I try to keep things loose with our guys, have some fun, particularly in Friday practices, but you know, there's pressure to win for me here because I am an alum.
Yeah, his folks live just a few miles here from campus. He's got twin girls that come to every game. Like you mentioned, Jim, a former alumni. You can sense it really matters to be the head coach of this Northwest Missouri Bearcat football team.
Today they rushed the football for 182 yards compared to just 55 for Grand Valley State. By the way, the coach's twin 3-year-old girls, are they a big fan of the coach or football? No, the band. But they've got time to grow into the coach and the team here.
Now we see Heath Parling, Grand Valley's quarterback. I think played pretty well today, but just, you know, again, just his inability in the red zone was the key factor today. As you see the fans starting to warm up, starting to get his hands warm, their shoulders loose to bring those goalposts down.
I think they've had some meetings over the week as to how to get ready for it.
I'm sure there's a diagram and a plan of attack, no question.
They've got a few hundred over there, don't they, Rocky?
Oh, yeah. More and more seem to be lining up.
Lakers are out of timeouts. And the Bearcats about to go in their favorite offensive play, the victory formation. Adam Dorrell, his 35th win in 41 games. He's had a terrific run here. And it'll be the first time he'll take a team to the national championship game as a head coach. And for Grand Valley State, terrific year considering they had to face up against a lot of difficult weather, had to make a number of comebacks. Matt Mitchell's team will end at 12-3 and still had an outstanding season.
About 10 seconds difference between the play clock and the game clock.
And there's the play call, Rocky.
There it is.
Everybody's favorite play.
The victory formation. Take a knee and take this one to the locker room and take this one to Florence, Alabama.
And take those goalposts out of here. That'll do it. Adam Dorrell and the Bearcats are headed to Florence, Alabama. And in the meantime, in the end zone, they're shaking the gates down, and here come the fans. Lenore Ryan and Northwest Missouri State will face off for the D2 championship next week in Florence.
Look at that.
Be careful over there.
And at pretty much every university across the country, this is discouraged, but here it's encouraged.
Absolutely. Semifinals are over. Lenore Ryan wins its game. Northwest Missouri State wins its game as well. And on to the finals, these two teams next week. So for Rocky Boylan, I'm Jim Barbas. So long from Bearcat Stadium in Maryville, Missouri with a final score 27-13 Northwest Missouri State. To watch this entire game and replay, as well as other games on ESPN networks, as always, we invite you to log on to watchespn.com or download the Watch ESPN app. So long from Maryville, Missouri, where Grand Valley State and Northwest Missouri State finish up with the Bearcats winning 27-13.